unforgettable 920.
The following sports broadcast is an exclusive presentation of the unforgettable 920 KSHO. Bulldogs football is on the air. You can follow West Albany all season long. Every snap, every score, every game, home and away on KSHO. Bulldogs football is brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Lassen RV, Albany Athletic Club, Power Honda, Snap Fitness of Albany, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Crabtree Automotive, Mark Thomas Motors, Grocery Outlet, Courtesy Corner Shell, Now Builders, Lynn Lanes, Willamette Community Bank, The Cutting Room, Leschwab Tires of Albany, Figaro's of Albany, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Now get ready for Bulldogs football. For all the action, here are Radio Ryan and Wally Orderman live on the unforgettable 920 KSHO.
Most pleasant, good Friday evening to you. Welcome to your weekend. Welcome to Memorial Stadium at West Albany High School. Hard to believe with the passage of time that it is already senior night, but it is. The final regular season home game tonight for West Albany as they play host to Lebanon. Yes, it's the annual Eats Broadcasting Civil War, and it's here tonight on KSHO. I welcome you to the booth on an unusually rainy weekend all of a sudden here. I'm Ryan Pitts alongside Wally Orderman with Paul Dascalos and Jeff Kiter all here tonight. Wally, as the Bulldogs take the field tonight, it is senior night, which over the years has become something of a misnomer for West Albany because in every year except for one, since the start of Mid-Willamette Conference play, the Bulldogs have hosted a home playoff game. It's made senior night feel a little bit like one of Brett Favre's retirements. Yes, it's nice. There's a little bit of a ceremony, but there's another one coming down the road. We hope that's the case again for West Albany this year. It's looking pretty good with 2 games to play.
Yeah, West Albany desperately trying to stay up in the power rankings. The OSA power rankings are what it's all about when it comes to home field advantage and the play and the setup of the playoffs. But you're absolutely right, West Albany. We've gotten kind of spoiled with the West Albany success and been able to have at least one and possibly 2 home games here during the playoffs. That's what we're hoping for. It takes wins, and the Bulldogs set to do that again tonight.
The Bulldogs, despite beating South Albany 2 weeks ago, 75-18, and beating Dallas last Thursday, 42-0, have lost a spot in each of the last 2 weeks in the power rankings. They are down to number 7 this week. The good news, though, is this. In their final 2 games, the Bulldogs played 2 top 20 teams in the power rankings. Tonight it's Lebanon. They are number 18. Next Friday it will be Corvallis. They are number 19. There's only one other team in the top 10 of the OSAA's power rankings that plays 2 top 20 teams. So if the Bulldogs win both of their remaining games, you'd have to figure they'd be in pretty good shape to host the playoff.
Yeah, the kind of research you can only get from Ryan Pitts. I'll tell you, that's good stuff. And West Albany, they have to become now fans of Lake Ridge and Pendleton because those 2 teams who haven't had a lot of success on this season, they're bringing the average down for West Albany's opponents. That is keeping them down. That's why the Bulldogs probably have lost spots when they've been getting victories the last couple of weeks. If those 2 teams can win out, if those 2 teams can get a couple of wins each, it brings up that average. West Albany be in a lot better shape to finish in that top 8, get a bye in the first week, and then a home game in the second week.
West Albany at 6-1 overall. They are 4-1 in Mid-Willamette Conference play. Their opponent tonight, Lebanon, 3-4 overall, 3-2 in the Mid-Willamette. But the Warriors come in wounded Warriors here tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that and about tonight's opponent, Lebanon. Around the corner, we'll take a break and return. You are listening to Bulldog Football this Friday on 920 KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV at Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
Hey, welcome back here to West Albany High School. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, Paul Daskelos, Jeff Kiter, Brian Holman set up our gear, and that KSHO crew is down the road here. We've got a full house tonight as Lebanon and West Albany do battle the final home game of the season in the regular season for West Albany as Lebanon comes to town. Wally, it's kind of interesting. Since the formation of the Mid-Willamette Conference, nobody would argue that West Albany has been the best team in this league. They are 43-4 in league games since the league was formed. The number 2 team, I'm pretty sure everybody would say Corvallis. That would be nearly unanimous. Corvallis is 34-13. The number 3 team, though, in the history of the Mid-Willamette Conference, a lot of people, I think, would say Crescent Valley. Some might say Silverton. Some might even say South Albany. It's Lebanon that has the 3rd best record. They sometimes get forgotten, I think, in this league, but they are 26-21. The 3rd best record since the formation of this league. They have a semifinal berth in the state playoffs. That was back in 2006. They have been to the quarterfinals each of the past 2 seasons. And though they seem to be down a little bit this year, still 3-2 in the Mid-Willamette, 2 games out of first.
Yeah, only 1 game back of the Bulldogs here in the Mid-Willamette Conference standings. And people will remember that first year when with the reclassification, they were a state semifinalist, and Lebanon has had a good thing going. Then a couple of years ago, or we couldn't decide, was it last year or the year before, they add Jim Phillips, the defensive coordinator, and the Warriors have had the Bulldogs number the last couple of years, and they have a good thing going. It's a one high school town. Town's very supportive of the Warriors, and they get a lot of depth. They have a lot of players that come out for football. It's a proud program, and they have won football games, and always scary when they step on the field. They're probably the best 3-4 team in the state. You've got to remember, they started out the season with Mountain View and Ashland, 2 very difficult teams, and they're only they're then a Mid-Willamette Conference loss to Silverton as well as to Crescent Valley, who has run the table. Crescent Valley has since playing the Bulldogs and losing to West Albany.
Also bear in mind, and I'm sure they're mentioning this several times on the KGAL broadcast, Lebanon has won 2 straight in this series against West Albany. 2 years ago, they won here at West 30-20. And then last year, a 13-0 win for Lebanon over at Lebanon High School was the first time that West Albany had been shut out in league play. So the Warriors come in. They've handed the Bulldogs half of their all-time league losses. And certainly West looking for some revenge, but Lebanon trying to keep it going here tonight. I mentioned that the Warriors a little bit wounded as they come in. They are without their starting quarterback tonight, Brandon Marquez. He broke his collarbone last weekend in the win over Corvallis. They will also be without DJ Knuth, their leading tailback. So it is a bit of a wounded backfield for Lebanon. Even the Warrior broadcasting crew wasn't sure who their starting quarterback would be tonight. Maybe a little bit of quarterback got by committee, maybe a little bit of running back by committee, but not at full strength. Well,
and doing a little bit of research on this game, and by that I mean talking to your dad, who is the play-by-play man for Lebanon Radio. And in talking to him, asked him what the percentages are. What are we going to see run versus pass? He said 80-20. He said you're going to see 80% run, 20% pass. Quarterbacks for Lebanon have only thrown a total of 48 passes, only throwing for 28% through the air on this season. So it's going to be primarily run. But the one thing you pay attention to here is running averages and what they get per carry, no matter who's in the game. And they're getting between 6 and 7 yards per carry for their running backs, as well as their quarterback, who now we learn is out. So we've got to believe that'll tail off a little bit. But certainly the running game, which means their offensive line is getting the job done.
You remember last year, of course, Lebanon was a run-first team, but they were a prolific offensive team. They scored 76 and 61 points in their first 2 playoff games against Willamette and against Pendleton. This year, they've cranked up the offense a little bit again as they beat Corvallis last week 52-20, or 56, I should say, to 28. But in that game, the disparity in play calls was amazing. 56 runs, 3 passes in the game last week, and probably likely to see the same tonight.
Yeah, I think we will see a lot of that, and it's something we used to say about the Bulldogs with so much run, and the Bulldogs known as a running team, but they have been putting it in the air a little bit more this season. It's been a little bit more of a diverse offense, and I think we'll see a little bit of that tonight. You hope that the rain holds off in this game, because this will be, the West Albany, I think, certainly has the advantage in this game. But if things get sloppy, if it gets wet out there, ball control certainly would be a factor, and ball security will be the other factor. You just really hope that the rains hold off, and the field looks to be in great shape, and you hope that West Albany can get off with their running game and get things done.
We are going to have our national anthem here as the West Albany Band is going to do the honors here on senior night. And as a result, I would like to keep it here. And we will have our anthem. Stuart Welch leads the way as we get set for Lebanon West tonight on KSHO. There's an anthem and national anthem performed here at West Albany High School, and I'm not sure there's a group does it finer anywhere in the state. If you listen or if you watch in person the Oregon Ducks football team, before the game you'll hear a national anthem version. It's the same rendition that they play here at West, and I guarantee you if you listen to the two, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. It's a very nice performance here by the West Albany Band. Counting down to kickoff tonight, it's Lebanon and West Albany set to go here on 920 KSHO. We'll take a break and return in just a moment.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
And just about set for kickoff here tonight at West Albany High School for the first time this year. Weather becomes a little bit of a factor. Does not appear to be raining right at the moment, but I'm sure showers will be in throughout the night. A wind that could be described as swirling, as I've seen the flag just above the scoreboard blowing westward, blowing eastward, blowing to the north. It's coming from just about every direction here tonight as Lebanon and West Albany getting set to go. Wally, it is senior night here at West Albany. What's really amazing is the success the Bulldogs have had this year, and there aren't that many seniors on this roster.
Isn't that the truth? Only 12 seniors. And in talking with Coach Nyquist during the preseason, he was saying that that was going to be their test. You'll remember that we talked about the lack of seniors on the team as well as the tough early season schedule. And if certainly did well with the early season schedule. And these group of 12 players have been special in this program. It's hard to see them go. Always hard to watch these kids graduate, go on, that pesky graduation thing they've got every spring. But these 12, would you like me to list them?
Go for it. We got a moment.
I got a moment here as the Bulldogs get ready to run through the banner and take the field. Number 1, Ben Engel, the senior quarterback. Justin Brand, 5'11", 170-pound senior. Tanner Gardner, Dion Webb, the long snapper. Brendan Breslin, 6 touchdowns on the season. Wide receiver, excellent punter. Anthony Thompson, what do you say about Anthony? You know, he's just all everything. Plays special teams, plays defense. Can come in at running back. He's just a special kid. Devin Holcomb, Carson French, Hiram Crook, so solid there at fullback. Sorry to see him move along. We've got a few games to go, but I tell you, Colton Brandt, Cole Zumwalt, Robbie Frantum, Buck Truelove III, and gotta love. I'm gonna miss seeing that name on the roster.
Miss calling it.
Yeah, gonna miss calling it. I tell you, what a man's name that is. Robert Hayes and Jamison Dufour, the 5'11", 160-pound senior. So congratulations to those 12 as they are honored tonight on Senior Night.
Can we also take a moment here as we get set for kickoff to mention the bounty of goodies that we've gotten here tonight? We need to make several mentions of this because we've always promised that treats get you airtime, and tonight we've got treats aplenty up here.
Yeah, we do. We've got an extra man in the booth too, so it's probably good. But we do have treats all over the place tonight. Throughout the evening, I'll make mention of those that have graced us with so many treats. It's like a bakery up here tonight.
It is like a bakery. What was the last that came in the foil? What's inside the foil?
I haven't looked. I don't know. I'm gonna guess cinnamon rolls or sticky buns. But I will venture in here shortly. That's from Katie Smith.
The nice thing is that Wally really kind of almost has that luxury. He can dip in while I'm doing the play-by-play. So if you hear awkward silence after I say something, you'll know Wally has his mouth full.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be far too tempting for me to let that go all game long.
Set to go as Matt Wiest sends it deep. This will be taken about the 25-yard line and across the 35 and slipping out to the 38-yard line is Antonio Villanueva on the return. And instantly there, the conditions come into play. When Lebanon was out prior to the game warming up, Jake Rapé took a snap, had the ball slip out of his hand as he dropped to throw. And then the next route, receiver went out, slipped and fell.
Was that kick from a little bit further back?
It was from the 25 as the Bulldogs, I think, assessed a penalty prior to...
Somebody dunked during warmups, or what was going on?
So. Lebanon will start from the 38-yard line and taking the snap and dead to rights in the backfield is going to be the quarterback, Riley Wessel. There was a question about who would start. It's Wessel who takes it and goes for a loss back to the 34-yard line, a loss of 4 on first down.
Nobody on the Bulldogs deceived on that play. Man, they got after it. And we're seeing number 28 for the Bulldogs. Is that Jake Lacoste that's in there defensively?
Jake Lacoste starting at left corner. Brian Garcia, Alex Boyd, Matt Soot back in there, Tanner Gardner on the defensive line as Wessel has a snap go through his hands, but a whistle prior to the snap. The ball was taking a good bounce. I think Wessel would have gotten it back, but Lebanon, even if this is a penalty on the offense, bailed out a little bit because that was dangerous. The ball had gone right through the hands of the quarterback, Wessel.
Well, and the snap was just a rocket and it was a little bit high, and I don't think he anticipated it getting to him as quickly as it did. You know, they do those snaps just all, you know, they run through those snaps hundreds and hundreds of times, and at this point of the season, that just shouldn't be happening.
Motion penalty on Lebanon backs it up 5, and instantly they're in a 2nd down and 19 here in the opening minute. Good to see Matt Soot back in along the defensive line. He was out last week with a mild concussion. Mentioned the defensive line, your linebackers, Jackson Soto, Gabe Stone, Carson French, Jake Lacoste, Anthony Thompson are the corners, JT Valenzuela, and Joey Roos are the safeties. As Wessel takes the snap, rolls left, wants to tuck and go, trying to turn the corner and cannot. He'll lower the shoulder with a flag down as Matt Soot out in pursuit, stringing that one out wide with another penalty flag.
Yeah, two choices here. It's either a hold on Lebanon or a helmet-to-helmet on the Bulldogs. If either way, it's with the penalty, it's going to move one way or the other. But I just have a fear here that we're going to see a helmet-to-helmet penalty.
Yeah, the official signaling to his head. It appears personal foul. West Albany, blow to the head. So 3 offensive snaps, 2 penalties. As C.J. Hargis has quickly come in here at quarterback for Lebanon. Hargis, a 6'1", 200-pound junior, now calling the signals as the penalty is going to take it all the way out to the 44-yard line. Yeah, make it a 2nd down, not an automatic 1st down. 2nd down and 4 upcoming for Lebanon.
C.J. Hargis has only thrown 14 passes on the season, 4 for 14, 28%.
Direct snap to the running back and right into the scrum The number obscured before he could even get going. He's taking it to the 45. Taman Pravatsky with the carry. Picks up about a yard, and it's going to bring up third down. And a long 3 here for Lebanon on what's already been an interesting first series. The Bulldogs kicking off from 10 yards further back than normal for some inexplicable reason. A couple penalties on the opening series. And now out of that, a third down and 3. Lebanon just outside their own 45-yard line.
Hargis with only 4 carries on the season as well, so a little untested at this point.
Again, it's Pravatsky on the direct snap. Diving forward, going to be short of the first down by about a yard. As Pravatsky trying to find a seam. Nothing there. 2 direct snaps in a row to the fullback. Now they back the spot up a little bit. It's going to be 4th down and 2. Well, the officials going to bring the sticks out. This is short by a full yard.
Yeah, there's no way this could be a measurement unless I think that if the coach requests it, then I think you can. But there's no way this is a first down. I think if they did request it, they're trying to buy some time to decide whether they want to go for it here. You would think with the ball at the 47 that Lebanon would not. They'd try and play a little field position battle here, but
that's easily a yard as they extend the chains well short. I was going to say either my depth perception is horrible or that's an interesting measurement. It's 4th down, a full yard here for Lebanon.
I would never question your depth perception. If I could say it.
I might have walked out of the booth. It would have worried me this early in the night. Lebanon appears will go on 4th down and 1 from their own 47-yard line. Wessel back in, takes a snap, rolling left, can't get there. He's going to lose yardage, back to the 44, and the Bulldogs hold on downs. They'll take over in Lebanon territory with 9:43 to go in the first.
Tanner Gardner didn't make that tackle, but he's the one that blew up the play right there. He got in there so quickly, almost untouched, got right past the guy trying to block him, turned that play right into a defender who was able to bring him down. I believe it was Soot who ultimately got him down. Great play defensively by Gardner.
And the Bulldogs quickly on offense. A give to Jake Lacoste running left. Has a block. He's at the 40. He's at the 35-30. Sideline to the 20. At the 15. Cuts back. He's gone. 5. Touchdown West. 1 play. 45 yards. Touchdown Bulldogs.
And Brendan Breslin with a little seal block. Didn't get a whole lot of the defender, but able to get just enough that Lacoste was able to get around the corner. Breslin with a great block. Lacoste does it the rest of the way. 1 and in. Bulldogs lead 6-0.
Well, that will put Jake over 2,000 yards for the season. Well, close. He came in at 1937. I thought he had gotten higher than that last week. So he's closing in on 2,000 yards. But another touchdown run for Jake, his 29th of the season. Matt Wiest is on for the point after.
Scott Landgren from the other crew down there, who they are all friends of ours down there with the KGAL crew, just shaking his head saying, uh-oh, here we go.
Well, an excellent start for the Bulldogs. They hold on downs. Matt Wiest adds the point after. It's 7-0 West Albany. 9:32 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break and return to 920 KSHO.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
920 KSHO.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium at West Albany High School. Never mind the crinkling of the aluminum foil that you hear. That's just Wally trying to figure out what kind of treats we have.
Banana bread.
Revealed to be banana bread. There's Matt Wiest with the kick. That will hit on the goal line, roll into the end zone for a touchback. You put Matt back at the 40. He puts it in the end zone, and Lebanon will start from their 20, 1st and 10. 9:32 to go in the first quarter. West Albany leading 7-0.
And Ryan, that banana bread courtesy of Katie Smith, Steely Smith's grandmother. I want to thank her. We've got some other treats that we'll talk about along the way. But as Lebanon gets set for their second offensive series, want to say a couple of happy birthdays. Reed Rainey, my friend from high school, used to play quarterback for West Albany many, many years ago, as well as baseball, and then played baseball for Washington State. It's his birthday, and I'll tell you the other birthday today here in just a moment.
C.J. Hargis will give it up the middle on first down, and this is Taman Pravatsky with the carry out to the 25-yard line.
Ryan, our own Paul Dasklos' wife, Patty. It's her birthday today as well. Patty Dasklos. I want to say happy birthday to her as well. My guess is he would have acknowledged that when he gets the headset there at halftime, but I wanted to beat him to the punch.
Now, Riley Wessel back in at quarterback. Direct snap to Pravatsky. Now on an inside give. The ball goes loose, and it's going to be Matthew Tracy who falls on it back at the 20-yard line. Busted play that will lose 5, and it goes back to 3rd down and 10 for Lebanon. Boy, they're shuffling players in and out. There are different players taking a snap. C.J. Hargis, Riley Wessel, alternating snaps at quarterback. Tim Farrell, a fullback, will carry the ball a lot. Taman Pravatsky has taken a couple of direct snaps. That was Matthew Tracy who fell on that loose ball. Is on 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Wessel back to throw. It's Hargis. He steps up. He's going to go down for a loss. He'll go down for a loss of a couple. The Bulldogs swarm him. Brian Garcia there to finish the play. Gabe Stone got it started. A 3-and-out for the Warriors. And West will get it back here. 8-10 and counting in the first, already leading 7-0.
Well, and if he pulled the trigger on that pass when the receiver came open, he really could have had a pretty good gain there and probably first down yardage. Matthew Tracy, the 6-foot, 170-pounder senior for Lebanon, was open at one point, but then pulled the ball down. Wanted to give him another chance to get open, but Bulldogs swallowed him up.
Punt is a low wobbler. Valenzuela on a hop at his own 45. Eludes the first tackle, looks for space up the middle at midfield, spins away from one, and falls forward with a flag down to the Lebanon 46-yard line. We'll check the flag as it happened right as J.T. Valenzuela got tackled. As it stands, the Bulldogs have a 1st and 10 at the Warrior 46 with 7:39 to go in the first quarter.
I'm not real sure. The way they threw it right into the pile, so they are going to call a face mask here on Lebanon. Going to move the ball even further into Lebanon territory here for the Bulldogs to start their second series.
Now making what has already been a long start to the game, a little longer here for Lebanon. Failing on downs on their first series near midfield. The Bulldogs turned that into a one-play touchdown, and then Lebanon a 3-and-out. The punt and now the penalty will set this down to the Warrior 31-yard line, 1st and 10, with 7:39 to go in the first quarter. And Jake Lacoste alone right now in the backfield. Matt Soot offset to the right. Brendan Breslin outside of him. Bunch formation as they give it straight up the middle to Jake. And he'll go inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Give Jake about 3.5 on first down. It's a new formation from the Bulldogs. A little bunch set. Joe Birchfield is in there as a tight end. Jackson Soto. It's kind of almost a slot receiver outside of him. And then Breslin and Soot both tight to the right.
I think Coach Nike was probably feeling that they had gotten a little bit predictable here, probably trying some new things here so that they can be all set going into the postseason.
Same setup. It goes straight up the middle to Jake Lacoste, and he's stuffed. Nothing there. No gain on the play. Maybe a short loss. As they will spot him for a loss of 2. All the way back to the 29-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 here for West. 2 carries up the middle, not much there.
Going over the left shoulder of Buck Truelove there. Things just got piled up a little bit. 2-down territory for the Bulldogs. They're kind of in no man's land there. The ball at the Lebanon 29 here. Got 2 downs here to get the 8 yards.
Back to the more conventional set with Soot as the fullback. Lacoste is the deep back, and no flags. There's a wild snap. Lahota rolls, fires to Breslin, who makes the catch and cannot spin away from a tackle. He'll go down maybe a half yard on the pass. Disjointed from the start. Thought for sure there'd be a flag for procedure. There wasn't. The play continues. It goes for no gain.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the ball hit the carpet. Lahota goes down to get it, and then the timing of that play is off. So much of what the Bulldogs do relies on good timing. That time, everything, you're right, it was a little disjointed. We're able to get the pass off, but Breslin with basically no gain there, maybe half a yard, is going to bring up 4th and about 7.
Now 4th down and a full 8. The Bulldogs on the Warrior 29. 2 receivers left. Lahota back to throw. Looking that way. Sets up. Fires deep. Looking for Breslin. And it is going to be intercepted in the end zone for a touchback. Picked off by Matthew Tracy. About a yard deep in the end zone. Breslin and Tracy, man. Tracy gets the pick. It works like a touchback, and the Warriors will take it from their 20, 1st and 10.
Tracy hobbling a little bit here as he gets up after the interception. It does work like a punt. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, but just a little bit underthrown. I think it's probably one Lahota would like to have back. Breslin, no chance to come back far enough to get that, and the Bulldogs give the ball up. Lebanon's going to come the other way.
One of those awkward situations where the coaching staff might almost say to Tracy, hey, next time just swat that down.
Yeah.
You just cost us 9 yards. They would have taken over at the 29. Instead, it's from their own 20. 1st and 10. Hargis on first down, right up the middle to Farrell, and he's stuffed. No room up the middle, about a half yard right in the middle. Tim Farrell, a 5'10", 215 senior, swarmed by Steely Smith.
Yeah, and if you want to run up the middle, you've got to remember you've got Steely Smith and Matt Soot right there just clogging things up, and going to be a pretty difficult task to be able to go up the middle against the Bulldogs. I think any success Lebanon has is going to be trying to get to the corners.
To give proper credit, I think it was Alex Boyd made the stop. As Hargis back to throw a little backwards pass. Good catch by Pravatsky in traffic, but he's going to be swarmed and go down for a loss. Back behind the 20. Dangerous backwards pass, and Pravatsky had to make a one-hand grab. He'll go down at the 18. It's a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 11 here for Lebanon.
Pravatsky, a talented runner, 6.4 yards per carry when he gets the ball in his hands. Now, that's on a rushing play, but you know what he can do after getting the catch, but a really nice job of bringing that one in, but no gain, even a little loss on the play. Long 3rd down for Lebanon.
3rd and 11, I formation. Hargis gives it off the left side and going down after a short gain out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line is 43, who's Luke Rapé. JT, it's a very short gain. Sorry, Wally. Lebanon offense are trying to find a way to move the ball, and they're running some very unorthodox offensive sets. Difficult to tell who's carrying the ball.
Yeah, JT Valenzuela with the tackle on that play. Nice sure tackle, and then just jogs back because he knows he's going to be the one to receive this punt as he's deep here straight out from us at about the 43-yard line.
On 4th and 6, Farrell with the punt. Valenzuela takes it from his own 39. No fair catch. And a flag's going to come down as JT's going to break this. He'll get it to midfield, near side of the 45. This is all going to be for naught as JT's going to break it and take it to the house. But this is going to come back for a block in the back right at the outset. Unfortunate because JT Valenzuela winds up taking it to the house. But a flag down as a Warrior a little shaken up on the play. Alan Ma, who might have been the player who was blocked in the back, this will come back.
It's too bad, too. JT Valenzuela, we talked last week about it was just about time. You just kind of had the hunch that he was going to bust one here one of these days. And he's certainly got the speed and the skills. That time showing some craftiness at cutting that back inside against the defender who was giving pursuit. But all for naught as it's going to come back. The Bulldogs, it's going to move this back a little ways. The Bulldogs have probably their worst starting position here of the game.
Yeah, easily. They'll be back at their own 31-yard line when they start. 1st and 10, 3:47 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs leading at 7-0. Before, during, or after the game in Albany, you can grab a hot and ready $5 pizza at Little Caesars. It's across from the mall on Geary Street, the new and only Little Caesars in Albany. So from the 31, right hash mark, 1st and 10. Cody Lahota will go under center with Soto and Breslin to the left. Soot and Lacoste behind him. The give goes to Jake. Change of direction at the line. Hits the 35. Stutter step, juking outside of the 40. 1st down and more. Midfield and out of bounds as he just kind of gears down and steps out. Nice run on 1st down for Jake. 1st down Bulldogs.
I'll tell you, one of the weapons that he has certainly developed over the course of the last few games is that stiff arm. He really uses that nicely. We saw a lot of it last week against Dallas and saw it just again on that play. It's what gave him that 1st down yardage because the pursuit was good, but he was able to stiff arm the defender, got that extra 10 yards or so.
16 yards and a 1st down. Gets a carry here, gets a nice block. He's at midfield at the Lebanon 45 and down to the 44. A pickup of 9 on 1st down, just shy of a 1st down for West. It'll be 2nd down, very, very short.
And picks up a nice block. Doesn't even begin to say what Jackson Soto did on that play. Jackson Soto kind of cutting back and getting the pursuit there. Absolutely macked the defensive player that was giving chase. Beautiful block by Soto. Springs him. Going to bring up 2nd and very, very short.
They're at the Warrior 44-yard line in what has been a rapid first quarter. 3:15 to go in the first. 7-0 West. Looking for Morris. Lahota goes under center with two receivers right. Cody back to throw. Rolling right. Sets up. Fires into the flat. And it is caught by Soto at the 30-yard line. Fortunate that pass got to Soto just when it did, because Chris Bustillos was making a break on the ball and very nearly had a pick.
Yeah, Soto, such sure hands. He ran a great route, too. Found a little seam in there, a little bit of zone coverage there. They gave him plenty of cushion, and Soto able to bring that in for the first down yards. The Bulldogs back in business here at the Lebanon 30-yard line.
Oh, me of little faith. I had the word interception in my mouth and ready to come out, and that one was picked by Soto at the 30. First down, Bulldogs. As Lahota on play action, back to throw, setting up, going deep, looking for Breslin, in traffic, caught, no, dropped it in the end zone. Oh, Brennan had that one right in the breadbasket and could not hang on.
Oh, boy. One he would like to have back, certainly, as he had broken away from the defenders. Double coverage back there, but he was able to make a break for the post. The ball laid in nicely by Lahota, just dropped, and it's just one of those things. He's going to look at that on film and say, oh, my, what have I done? 6 touchdowns receiving on the season. That one certainly could have been number 7.
It's been interesting this year with Breslin, who's made several circus grabs, and then there have been a couple like that you know he'd want back. Jake Lacoste carry left side, gets a block at the 25, cuts it back and stumbles down just inside the 20. He'll go down and should have a first down just inside the Warrior 20-yard line. That will be enough. First down, Bulldogs. Jake lost his balance right at the end, or he might have taken that one to the end zone.
And we're going to have a timeout from Lebanon.
It comes with 2:31 to go here in the first quarter. We'll keep it here. Farmers Insurance is the right choice for auto insurance, home, life, business, boat, and RV insurance, and a whole lot more. Your local Farmers experts are Roland Brower and Tim Finley on 9th across from Mark Thomas Motors in Albany. Go Bulldogs. Can we speak of a Bulldog alum that's hanging out by the window here?
We can. Jeremy Burride coming up to see us here at the box. He's going to be sitting right below us here using my tickets tonight. So
nice.
Great to see Jeremy. He's in town. A lot of people will know that Jeremy, a starting pitcher for the University of Portland Pilots in his senior season, and hoping to be drafted come toward the end of the season in June. And we wish him well with that. Jeremy here at his alma mater, taking in the football game.
And hops that resemble yours, Wally, I might add, on the basketball court.
I have what my friend Jerry Bomey calls credit card hops.
I've heard notebook paper hops. It's kind of the same thing. Slide a credit card under there.
Yeah.
First and 10.
You can't slip a Visa. Maybe an American Express.
I was going to say, credit cards are kind of thick, you know. A little bit of an edge on those things, especially when the numbers pop out a little bit, the embossed cards. First and 10 Bulldogs from the 20 of Lebanon. 2:31 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 West. He's out of the timeout. Jackson Soto goes in motion left to right. Lahota takes a snap, gives it to Jake Lacoste, stretching right, looking for a block from Soto, trying to get to the sideline with a flag down. Jake will drive down near the goal line. They're very close to a touchdown, but once again, this will come back in a penalty-laden first quarter holding West Albany.
Boy, they are really sensitive to that tonight, and we've seen a lot of flags already here in this first quarter. 2:23 here to go in the first quarter. A lot of Hankies have been on the field. Glad to see them go back to the yellow Hankies.
Yeah, they wear the powder blue for a couple weeks to raise prostate cancer awareness. Our programs tonight are pink. That's for the breast cancer awareness. Strange how all these colors all of a sudden became affiliated with something. You know, the yellow, I guess, still has the Live Strong. Been a busy week for Live Strong.
Yes, it certainly has.
Lance Armstrong stepping down.
Yes, losing the front man for Live Strong. See how things develop with that over time. Had a theory today on From the Sidelines.
Did you?
I'd be happy to share it with
well,
you.
You might have to now that you've teased it. First down 17 after the penalty is marched off. Jake gets a carry and will go down for a loss. Good pursuit that time from the Lebanon defense. Tim Farrell in for the stop. As it will be no gain. Back to the line, second down 17.
Don't see that a lot from Jake. Little indecision. I think he saw his offensive lineman being kind of backed up. Good surge from the defensive line. And Jake, I think, just was a little undecided which way to go and gave the defense that hesitation, gave the defense a little bit of time to corral him. Bring up a long second down here for the Bulldogs.
And Lahota, play action, back to throw. Sets up, fires deep, looking for Breslin. And this one is dropped again, but that time he had his vision, I think, thrown off by a defensive back who was closing on the ball in the end zone. Maybe just waved his hands right in front of Breslin's face. Off his fingertips, incomplete. 3rd down and 17.
Yeah, Lebanon's certainly paying attention to Brendan Breslin. He's drawing double coverage when he goes out on these patterns. That time, I think you're right. I think it just got a little distracted in front of him. I don't know if it was tipped or sometimes just waving something in front of that pass coming in is going to be enough to make you just lose that little bit of focus that would bring it in. Breslin's he's going to get his catches, but they are certainly paying attention to him tonight.
3rd down and 17. The Bulldogs in 2-down territory again here at the Warrior 27. Give it straight up the middle to Matt Soot, trying to make that 4th down a little more manageable. And Soot with another very late flag takes it to the 22, 5-yard gain. But this could be a crucial flag. It came in right at the end of the play and was thrown by the back judge.
Got an update, Ryan, and my thanks to Becky Kelly for sending this along to us. South Albany leading 13-7. I believe they have Woodburn tonight, or is it Dallas? I'm not sure.
Just checking the penalty, which is a personal foul against Lebanon. Now, this is going to give West Albany a 1st down. It's Woodburn tonight for South Albany up at Woodburn High School.
South Albany leading that game 13-7.
Yeah, kind of a gift here for the Bulldogs. Now, they'll say 4th down. It's a penalty because of where the ball was. It's half the distance to the goal. So it's not an automatic 1st down. It's going to be 4th down and about 1.5 yards here for the Bulldogs just outside the Warrior 10. When West Albany scored on their first offensive snap, you thought, this game's going to be 28-0 at the end of 1. 1.5 minutes to go in the first, still 7-0, and the Bulldogs are 4th and short. Lebanon could build some momentum if they can get a stop.
Yeah, penalties have been killing West Albany. The Bulldogs have had their opportunities to score.
Guess what? Prior to the snap, timeout, West. Thought for sure we were going to have another flag. It's a timeout taken by the Bulldogs with 1:23 to go in the first. 4th down, a long yard upcoming here for West, and they wanted to talk about it. You had your theory on Lance Armstrong?
Yeah, I think probably when you're front man in something like that, I mean something named after their front man when steps down, I have to believe that organization will be looking to merge with another strong, no pun intended, but with another organization that has the same goals, and certainly there are several very worthy causes out there, but I think probably that's what we're likely to see kind of reinvent itself. And I would hope that the organization and the mission can keep going, because it's certainly a worthwhile cause, and a lot of money's been given toward that very worthy goal, and we'll hope that it can continue to thrive.
Well, nobody's asking for my opinion, but you cannot deny what he did for cancer research, leading the charge, and you also can't be naive and think he was the only one doping. That's a dope-heavy sport. There's 4th and 1 out of the timeout. Give to Jake. He'll have the 1st down and more up the middle. Breaking tackles down inside the 5-yard line, or close to the 5. As Jake will come out of the pile near the 6. It'll be 1st down and goal for the Bulldogs. Even the crowd maybe tonight has fallen into a bit of a lull.
Well, it's the penalties will do that. It just
breaks the rhythm.
Right, it does. You just feel like this game has zero sense of momentum right now. Get Bulldogs into the end zone, a 2-touchdown lead, and maybe things will pick up a little bit.
On 1st and goal, give to Jake, change of direction. He's going to go in off left guard for a touchdown. Stutter step at the end, spins his way into pay dirt, and the Bulldogs lead at 13-0. As they do get that 2nd touchdown, and Jake gets touchdown number 30 on the season.
Great job by that left side of the offensive line. Created all sorts of opportunity for him there. Jake does the rest with his legs, gets it into the end zone. Bulldogs with Matt Weiss trying to make this a 14-0 game. We're getting toward the end with just over a minute to go here in the first quarter.
Ben Engel, one of the few West Albany seniors, will hold it. Dion Webb, one of the other few West Albany seniors, will snap it. Matt Weiss, the junior, trying to make it 14-0 as he rockets this one up and through. 1:04 to go, first quarter. West Albany 14, Lebanon nothing. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Unforgettable 920.
14-0. West Albany leading Lebanon with 1:04 to go in the first quarter. For those who may be interested, the Giants leading the Cardinals 5-0 in the 8th inning. Game 5 of the NLCS. The Giants win. They get back to the Bay for games 6 and possibly 7.
Love that home field advantage, especially in baseball. Giants trying to keep that a series.
I like the Giants. I don't know why I'm rooting so hard against St. Louis. I just don't want to see the Cardinals in the World Series again. I don't know why, but Tigers-Giants sounds a lot better to me than Tigers-Cardinals right now. So I will continue to root for the Giants. You're looking at me with that talk about football look. All right.
That's not the case. I am pulling for the Giants as well. My dad was a huge Cardinals fan, but he liked the Giants too. But I will. I'll pull with you for the Giants.
Now West Coast thing is Matt Wiest sends a spinning top. It's fielded on a hop at the 12-yard line, and with a good head of steam, Pravatsky will take this one out near the 40. Good return for Lebanon. Pravatsky had a head of steam when he fielded the ball and takes it back up 30 yards near the 40. 1st and 10 Warriors.
Great special teams wedge there got in front of him, and I tell you, he ended up exceeding that wedge and really took it for a very nice starting position here for Lebanon at the 40-yard line. Valenzuela able to chase him down from behind.
We've seen a little bit of Jake Lacoste at corner. Ben Engel is in there now at a corner spot. Nathan Clark back in as an outside linebacker. C.J. Hargis out of the shotgun on 1st down. Now it's Wessel. Wessel takes the carry left with a flag down. Wessel goes around the outside to about the 42-yard line. Boy, this Wessel-Hargis thing is just killing me here in the first quarter. Both of them in. Both have taken snaps. And with both on the field, it's tough to tell until the last minute who's taking the snaps. It'll be a personal foul chop block against Lebanon.
Yeah, number 50, Blake Warren for Lebanon. That flag was thrown right at him as he went down low on Tanner Gardner. Gardner gets up just fine, but the referee saw that chop block, and it's going to bring it back. It's going to be a long 1st down for Lebanon.
Yeah, this should take them back inside their own 30. As the Warriors, who had good field position after the kick return by Pravatsky, will now suddenly find themselves back at the 26-yard line, where they will face 1st down and 24. Final minute of the first quarter. Lebanon trying to get some offense going. It's Riley Wessel out of the shotgun as the rain starts to fall here in Albany. Snap goes to the back, and has taken it across the 30 to the 31-yard line is Pravatsky. They've run the direct snap to Pravatsky several times here in the early going. That one picks up 5. It'll be 2nd down and 19.
Well, that's an experienced coaching staff for Lebanon, knowing that you don't have to get when you're at 1st and 25, you don't have to get it all on one play. And that's a smart play. They go with their strengths, get it in Pravatsky's hands. Let's see if he can get a chunk of it. Now maybe you start considering going to the air.
Now it's C.J. Hargis, who goes under center and keeps off left side, dragging a defender across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He took Tanner Gardner for a little bit of a ride. Gardner with the stop, as that will be the end of the first quarter. Going to be 3rd down for Lebanon, 3rd and 5 when the second quarter commences. But after 1 here at West Albany High School, it's the Bulldogs 14, the Warriors nothing. We'll take a break and return to 920 KSHO.
Lynn Lane's in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
The place to bowl is Lynn Lane's Bowling Center on South Main Road in Lebanon. And the people are real nice. And the Head Pin Restaurant, I'd go there even if the bowling alley wasn't attached.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We are proud to support our local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. Willamette Community Bank. Service like no other. We promise. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Competition is tough in the hairstyling business. The cutting room on Pacific across from Pops doesn't mind, because just like the Bulldogs, we strive for excellence with confidence. The cutting room wants to be your salon. Call us for an appointment at 541-928-0811.
It's that time again, Les Schwab's Fall Tire Sale, our biggest sale of the year. Come in and get great deals on some of our most popular tires. But hurry, the Fall Tire Sale ends October 31st. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Welcome back here as we start the second quarter, and a carry by C.J. Hargis will keep Lebanon shy of the 1st down. at their own 46-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 4 for the Warriors, and they appear to be set to punt it again. JT Valenzuela heading back deep.
Got back a big chunk of that 1st and 25, and they get going to bring up 4th and about 4. They will punt. The ball's still on Lebanon side of the field.
Lebanon very late getting a couple of subs on the field, as it looks like they have a different man in punt formation. Josh Alley with the punt, a low wobbler with the flag down. Valenzuela on a hop, spins away from the first tackle, looking for some space. There's not much there as he gets up the middle, breaks a tackle, and breaks it to the outside. He's gone. JT is going to score, but there is a flag down at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, and in for a touchdown right now is JT Valenzuela. Now the flag's in a dangerous spot. It could be offsides west. It could be illegal formation Lebanon. We will see.
Brian Mell down there, defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, he's waving and he's saying, okay, it's a penalty on them, decline it, go down, and Valenzuela, that one's going to count. West Albany coaching staff fairly confident that this will be on Lebanon.
Well, the band is playing. The Bulldogs special teams are out on the field. It is an illegal shift on Lebanon. The touchdown is going to stand. And JT Valenzuela, how's that for redemption? He took one back, but the illegal block took it off the scoreboard. So the next time he touches it, he says, we'll just take it in again. 20-0 West.
Boy, I tell you, that's a special run right there, too, because it looked like he was hemmed in. He changed directions 2 or 3 different times within 3 yards there on that run. Early in that run, found a seam, and then nobody was going to catch him. He's got those wheels, takes it up the far side, goes in for the score.
Weist on for the PAT, looking to make it 21. Angle puts it down. Weist puts it through with 10:55 to go in the first half. It's now the Bulldogs 21 and the Warriors nothing. We'll take a break and return to 920 KSHO.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Through September, Figaro's in Albany has the Santa Fe barbecue chicken. Tender cuts of chicken, dull pineapple, fresh onions, and sun-ripened tomatoes, all atop their signature barbecue sauce.
Unforgettable 920.
Back at West Albany High School, kudos to JT Valenzuela, his second punt return for a touchdown of the night. This one, though, counts. The first was brought back by penalty. This one also had a flag down, but the illegal motion penalty against Lebanon allows it to stand. Valenzuela in the end zone, 75 yards on the punt return. Matt Weist will send it back to Lebanon. This is what the Warriors feared. They knew they were shorthanded coming into the game. The defense maybe not what it has been the last couple of years, and the West side tonight making it look routine right now, 21-0 with 10:55 to go in the half.
All phases of the game, Bulldogs have been playing very, very well. If without a few penalties here in this game, you'd call it the flawless first quarter for the Bulldogs as they on the board again, 21-0. Bulldogs very early in the second quarter.
Weist with a directional kick. It will be taken to the 29-yard line by Keontae Davis. And Davis stacked up at the 35 with Thompson, Birchfield, Clark, DeFore all in on the stop. And Hiram Crook there, too, for West. About 5 different Bulldogs in on the tackle. 6-yard return for Davis. 1st and 10, Lebanon from their own 35.
Ryan, you'll remember back at the Pendleton game to start off this season how we had concerns about kick coverage by the Bulldogs. Man, have they shored that up. Special teams for the Bulldogs we know that Coach Nyquist devoted extra time to special teams in the week following that, and the momentum from that has really paid off. The Bulldogs special teams have been special. That kick coverage has been excellent.
And it's interesting how the Bulldogs have gone between the deep kick and that directional kick from Weist, that time more of an angled kick. As on first down, Hargis with a give to Braden Childress, his first carry of the night. Childress picks up about a yard, maybe 2, hard-earned off the left side.
JT Valenzuela with just a form tackle there on that play, coming off the long punt return for the touchdown, and then makes a sure tackle there. Love that running play by Lebanon. Going to bring up 2nd and about 8.
Yeah, they'll give him 1 yard to the 36. 2nd down and 9. As Braden Childress continues in the backfield. Pravatsky in front of him. C.J. Hargis under center on 2nd down and 9. Left hash is Hargis on a fake. gives it inside to Luke Rapé, and Rapé across the 40 out close to the 43-yard line, shy of the first down by a couple. A little misdirection carry on the inside as Rapé, the 5'10", 205 senior fullback, listed as a tight end, but gets the fullback dive and bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that misdirection is a little deceptive here. We could see it very nicely. It's right here in front of us. Could see that handoff being made, but you could see how it'd be difficult for the defenders to pick that up. The Bulldogs did a nice job to keep that from getting first down yardage.
3rd and 3 Lebanon. Movement prior to the snap, as it looked like the right guard for Lebanon, the guilty party. Bulldogs were moving a little bit along the line as well.
Yeah, Bulldogs jumped, but they didn't jump into the neutral zone, and then the right guard for Lebanon was the one that stood up. It's going to bring that back 5 yards, and that's a tough penalty for Lebanon because they were at 3rd and short. Now they're at 3rd about 7 here, still in their own side of the field, ball at the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. That's a tough penalty for the Warriors right there.
Yeah, 3rd down, a long 7, a short 8. Warriors may have to put the ball in the air here. Sargis under center I formation. Waits a snap, takes it back to throw. Sets up, throws a deep fade near side, looking for Gillette, and it's incomplete. Just a little bit overthrown. Is it Hull? Yeah, Tyler Hull, 82. Having all sorts of trouble with the Lebanon numbers tonight. I don't know why. Tyler Hull, the intended target, falls incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 8.
And Ben Engel in coverage there, and you like his ability to change speeds on that play. He saw what was happening, saw that was going to be a deep fade there. He put it into another gear and caught up with the offensive receiver. Nice play by Engel in defense.
Josh Yalley to punt for a 2nd time as a wobbler that will bounce away from JT Valenzuela this time and take a good Warrior roll inside the 20, down at the 19-yard line. 44-yard punt, no return, and the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10, leading 21-0 with 9:06 to go here in the first half.
Well, the Bulldogs have been doing it all phases of the game here. They've got field position that you wouldn't typically enjoy. The ball at their own 20-yard line here, a long field to go, but not over 9 minutes to go here in the half. The Bulldogs have had major success here. If they could just keep the penalties to a minimum here, they've been driving the ball down the field very, very nicely.
West back to throw on 1st down. Lahota rolling, has Breslin wide open. He hits him at the 25. Breslin shakes a tackle, gets across the 30, stumbling across the 35, and out to about the 38-yard line. Good pickup. Breslin, good yards after catch, picks up about 19.
And that's a huge reception for Breslin, as he's had a couple in the end zone that I know he will say he should have caught. And that time with the sure hands, had a lot of cushion there. They were giving him a lot of room, able to bring that in. The nice run after the catch, about 12, 13 yards after the catch.
Give him a full 20 out to the 39. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. So they take that poor field position and turn it around almost immediately. Now Lacoste back in the backfield as here comes a delayed whistle, and Joe Birchfield had moved. Almost thought for a second they weren't going to throw a flag. And I never did see a flag.
Yeah, I still don't see a flag.
I don't think they ever actually threw one. They just blew the whistle. It'll be motion against West Albany. I still don't see a flag.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I still don't see it either.
That's my nightly critique of the officials there.
Oh, there'll be more.
Oh, yeah, several. You know, it's a very difficult job, and we always make mention of that. We wouldn't want to be down there in stripes, but they've had some interesting moments this year. 1st down, 15 Bulldogs from their own 34. And again, this time, flags fly from everywhere. So we'll have another motion penalty. All sorts of penalty yardage here in the first half.
This will drive a coach crazy.
This will drive us crazy.
Yeah, it certainly will. Well, they're marking this off, and we're waiting to see what this is going to be. Yeah, another procedure penalty against the Bulldogs.
You know, things going very well here for West. It's 21-0 with 8:24 to go in the first half. But again, these penalties just sort of take you out of your rhythm, and they kill the flow, and it kind of, I think, bores the people in the stands here too.
A lot of people sitting on their hands right now, just kind of waiting for exciting things to happen. And 21-point game right now. Put the ball in this guy's hands, and exciting things can happen.
Now 1st and 20 as Jake Lacoste gets the carry and rumbles for 5 to the 34. A lot of juke in there for Jake. He winds up with a 5-yard gain, bringing it.
Sorry about that, everyone. We're having a slight technical difficulty. Give us just a second. I'm going to actually put up the Warriors game, which is happening at the same place. It's the annual Eads Broadcasting Civil War.
We probably, hopefully, can say a little bit more tonight if the Warriors tighten up their defense.
That ball in traffic was dangerous if he hadn't put it on the hands of Jake Lacoste, but it was a good throw by Cody LaHoda. Cody fakes a handoff here and throws this time, and it is complete to Matt Suit,
number 90,
who is tripped up at the 35-yard line. And it will be a fourth down. Can you believe it? The punter is coming on the field for West Albany. We should stand and applaud.
And who is it? Let's see. It's a mystery punter.
Who? Looks like Brendan Breslin.
Yes, it is.
We'll go back to do the kicking for West on a 4th and 13. They didn't run the ball with Lacoste that time on the 3rd down. Brendan Breslin stands at his own 20 where he will punt here. 6:49, 6:48 clock running. Good snap and a good kick that will bounce at the 40 and then be picked up by West.
Fortunate bounce for the Warriors. It bounced backwards.
A nice stop, though, by one of the Bulldogs. Let's see who that was. I believe it was Brian Garcia. It bounced to him. Looked like it was going to take a good roll for the Warriors, but he stopped it pretty quickly. 40-yard line is where it will be a 1st down and 10 for the Warriors, their own 40, still lacking a 1st down in the game with 6:41 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
That's amazing, but they're building on a little bit of momentum here with the defense, getting the Warrior offense the ball back in good field position. Maybe the Warriors can get a score before the end of the first half.
It's Riley Wessel on the direct snap here, and he picks up the first down of the night in a saving tackle. He got to the outside and might have had a lot more yardage except for a saving tackle on the far side of the field, but it'll be a 1st down inside Bulldog territory and at the 44-yard line.
And Riley Wessel showing some nice speed there for the Warriors on the outside. Nice blocking by the Warriors offensive line. Best play of the night.
Lines up a little bit shy of what would be the normal shotgun position, but it's shotgun in that it's not a snap. Here comes the ball to Riley, and he will try out right side again. Gets a good block, and has another good run, and 2 successive good runs down to the 37-yard line. It will be about a 2nd and 4. Twice in a row they ran that play with 2 backs, Riley Wessel. And who's alongside him? Is it Farrell?
Taman Pravatsky, number 32.
And they can snap to either one. That's the question that the defense must answer. To whom will they snap the ball? And Riley has taken the last 2, gone to the right side behind some good blocking and picked up good yardage. 1 for a 1st down. And the last one they will save for 8. 2nd and 2 from the 36. Warriors trailing 21-0, but on the move first time tonight. And a handoff from Riley Wessel.
Wiley, he's back.
Looking to have him as Wiley by the end of the night.
Wiley Coyote.
As Tim Farrell took that handoff and simply dove forward a little shy of the 1st down, maybe picked up about a yard. So 3rd and 1, 5:21 remaining. It is windy down there.
It is. Look at those flags. I noticed that too just a few seconds ago.
And once again, they will line up in that formation. Side by side, Taman Pravatsky and Wessel, who will take this.
Well, I hope now that we're back on the KSHO side, as you flip over and hear the KGAL broadcast for a moment, I promise you that's not just a sample size thing. That's us losing our internet once again with Skype here. And our first season of trying to utilize Skype off the laptop, and there seem to be a couple of times a night where just inexplicably the internet will drop off. We don't know the cause of it. We apologize. Frustrating for us, too. As the Bulldogs, having punted, Lebanon has the ball now on the march inside the Bulldog 35 at the 33-yard line with a 1st and 10 and a flag coming for a motion on Lebanon. 4:43 to go first half, 21-0 West Albany. But Lebanon, having received a punt, gotten a couple of nice carries, a couple of 1st downs, now shoot themselves in the foot with a penalty and bring up 1st down and 15. Back at the Bulldog. Now, the spot at the 37. I don't know that they marched it off a full 5 yards. More like 1st and 14 where it sits.
Should have used that opportunity to have a cookie.
I should have done the same. C.J. Argus under center. 1st down 15 at the Bulldog 37-yard line. tries to keep. A little botch give inside to Farrell. And Hargis winds up paying the price. Goes down for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 15.
One of those where you put it in the belly of the fullback, Ryan, and then you have the option of pulling that back out or leaving it there for him to take. Both of them swallowed up there on that play right there at the line of scrimmage. Could be a loss on the play. Bring up a long 2nd down.
Well, maybe we just need to be on the air to stymie the Warrior run game, because when we were off, the Warriors were moving it nicely. Now Hargis goes back under center on 2nd down and 15 at the Bulldog 38. Hargis back to throw and blasted. He's going to be dropped by Steely Smith, who came through. Hargis was trying to pump and throw deep, and Smith wouldn't give him the opportunity.
Do you know how hard that is to get a sack when somebody has done a one-step drop? That's all that was. He took one step back and was going to throw the deep fade again. Steely Smith gets through. It appeared untouched. You know that he's not untouched, though. He shed that blocker and got after the quarterback. Beautiful play by Steely Smith.
He must have had some of that banana bread before the game.
He must have.
Gave him the energy. A loss of just a couple to the 40. It's 3rd down 17 for Lebanon. Hargis in the deep crouch under center. Will pitch it right for Childress. And Childress is hit and dropped for a loss as Soto broke through to make the stop.
Jackson Soto is having himself a game. I'll tell you, on both sides of the ball. He came through there and just blasted him. Huge 3rd down play, going to bring up 4th and a mile.
A loss of 4 back to the 44, and what had been a very promising Lebanon drive goes up in flames. 3 straight negative plays. You had Josh Alley back on to punt. 2:38 moving here in the first half, 21-0. West Albany with the lead. Set to get it back as JT Valenzuela stands at his own 15-yard line. Alley with the kick. Deep but returnable. Valenzuela from his own 9. Trying to make the first man miss. Does. Gets through across the 20-yard line. Still on his feet. Trying to shed a tackle and just barely gets tripped up at the 30-yard line. 21-yard return by Valenzuela, but was an ankle tackle away from maybe his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Man, I tell you, he had a lot of green in front of him if he's able to escape that last one. Not sure how he got through the first one, though. It looked like a lot of contact, but able to keep his balance, and then just the shoestring tackle.
So 2:18 to go in the first half. Bulldogs with a couple of timeouts remaining. Take over from their own 30. It's just been kind of a choppy first half. Penalties a lot to do with that. But the Bulldogs leading by 3 scores as Lahota goes back to throw. Sets up, fires for Soto, who makes the catch right at the first down sticks. It'll be enough to move the chains as I'll mark him right at the 40-yard line. Gain of 10 on the pass to Soto. First down West.
And good hands, too. I tell you, he had to make a little bit of an adjustment on that play. Soto with the nice hands gets the first down yardage. The clock stops on the while they move the chains. 2:10, and then they'll wind it now as the Bulldogs quickly come to the line.
Seems like more and more as we get later in the year, Soto is becoming a mainstay in the passing game for West. Lahota under center on 1st and 10. Soto in motion now right to left. The give goes to Jake Lacoste, running left through the first wave to midfield, breaking away, 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, Hello end zone, touchdown West. Jake Lacoste, 60 yards for the Bulldog touchdown, and is there another flag?
I don't see one. In fact, I was scanning the field, and now it appears that they are bringing it back.
The flag down on the far side at the 43 of Lebanon. It counts. It's a sideline warning against West Albany. The touchdown stands, so a 60-yard touchdown run, but then a sideline infraction. They just want to call everything here tonight. It's 27-0 Bulldogs, and Matt Wiest on to try to make it 28.
A sideline infraction penalty. You know, usually when you see that thrown, Ryan, what has happened is the referee is trying to make his way up to stay with the play, and he's run into somebody.
Right.
And so, you know, you can certainly see why they would want to drop the flag. But how about you wait until you signal touchdown, then drop the flag and say, you know what, we're going to penalize this on the kickoff.
No, Ben Engel to hold for Matt Wiest as the kick is up, and it is good. 1:48 to go in the first half. Jake Lacoste up to 154 yards on the night. That courtesy of Paul Dascalos. 3 touchdowns for Jake. And the Bulldogs starting to run away. 28-0 West. We'll come back at 9:20 KSHO.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
We're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
Unforgettable 920.
Minute 48 to go in the first half. West Albany 28 and Lebanon nothing. I'd been talking about Jake Lacoste breaking that long touchdown. He does. 60 yards to pay dirt on the last one. 154 yards in the game. Now over 2,000 for the season. And the Bulldogs a 4-touchdown lead with 1:48 to go in the first half.
I was just looking at to see if that qualified. I mean, you talked about breaking one from the 20 or the 30.
I'm spoiled.
But, we are. 60 yards, we'll say that qualifies as busting the long one.
Sure, there are people listening and say, what, 45 wasn't good enough for you? 60's not good enough for you? We've come to expect a lot from Jake Lacoste. As Matt Weiss, another short kick. This one is fielded over the shoulder by Keontae Davis at the 30, and Davis fights his way to the 34-yard line. The Warriors will begin their 1st and 10 with 1:44 to go in the first half, now trailing 28-0, and needing to put something together with the backup quarterbacks.
Just got a thank you text from Patty Daskalos, and also thanking me for keeping her age a secret.
Nice. I've got a birthday coming up in about a month, and I hope you keep mine a secret, too, when it comes time.
I'd be happy to. You've always been very gracious about that with me. I will be happy to return the favor. Want to offend no one on these broadcasts.
I've got the volume control for your microphone right in front of me.
Yes, you do. You can red light me anytime you want.
1st and 10 Warriors as they send out the spread package. 3 receivers to the right. Hargis rolling that direction, looking to throw. Sets up, fires incomplete. Gabe Stone almost got a hand on it. It falls harmlessly to the turf. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Gabe Stone, a little tough to tell from this perspective here, but looked like Gabe Stone might have been really trying to make a play on that, but I think the way he waved at it, trying to just maybe even just get a deflection, pop that ball up in the air. Gabe Stone always seems to be around the ball. Kind of like Roos, always just kind of ball hawking, knowing where the play's going. Got a great feel for the game.
Classic middle linebacker.
Yes, he certainly is.
Where Gabe Stone plays in the 3 linebacker alignment. 2nd down and 10. As the give goes straight ahead to the fullback. As Pravatsky, who takes it for a couple out to the 37-yard line. The clock will now stop as we're going to get a timeout taken by West Albany with 1:29 left in the half. 3rd down and 8 upcoming for the Warriors.
I think that's probably a prudent move there by Coach Nike, was take the timeout, make see what Lebanon does here. If you can force a punt, you've got still maybe a month after this next play, maybe a minute to go on the clock. Plenty of time, as we know, this explosive West Albany offense. Maybe you can get in the end zone again.
For over 50 years, Mega Foods has been offering the best quality and taste. More than just a supermarket, also a good neighbor. Mega Foods in Lebanon and in Albany. 3rd down and 8 upcoming when we come out of the timeout. 1:29 to go in the first half. West Albany leads at 28-0.
A couple of hellos, Ryan. First of all, I'm going to say hi to my wife, Renee, and stepdaughter, Melissa. Friday nights, Renee typically goes over to Lebanon to Melissa's house, and they listen to our broadcast. They listen more to hear you than to hear me, but who doesn't? But I want to say hi to them. I also want to thank Patricia Ike and Mark Avery for the cookies tonight. Yep. They look delicious. We haven't jumped into those, but separated them into 3 bags for us, and so we'll be able to split them up easily. And I want to thank them for that.
Still want to know where yours are, though. There are 3 bags, but I don't know if you're going to get to take one home. Hargis from shotgun.
There's one going to Violet Street, I can tell you that.
3rd and 8, throwing deep and incomplete. Intended for Tyler Hull. Overthrown. Hargis, not a lot of touch on the ball when he fires it. That one well over the head of Hull. 4th down and long. Clock stops with 1:25 to go in the half, and the Warriors will be punting again.
And that's the key. Clock stops. Bulldogs are going to have more than a minute to go when they start this possession here. JT Valenzuela dropping back. He's already got a ton of return yards here on punt team. Bulldogs are going to be in good shape field position-wise. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bulldogs try and get into the end zone again here. 1:25 here to go in the second quarter.
JT's just itching to get his hands on the ball again. And he will on a hop from his own 28-yard. Shaken up. A Warrior player. That was I think Luke Rapé, who rolls over to his back. Not a lot of movement initially, but now Rapé to his feet. And will come off. No flag, clean block, as that was on the side, but Rapé did not see it coming.
Oh, man. I tell you, special teams, you always hold your breath both sides of the ball, and you hold your breath and hope for no injuries, because there's a lot of contact and a lot of bodies flying at each other at a very high rate of speed. A lot of velocity going on down in that field. Have I thrown out enough big words? But and you're glad to see him come off the field under his own power here.
I was going to say, Wally, kudos to Josh Dykes and the Lebanon staff, because Rapé wanted to stay in the game, and they immediately sent out Tim Farrell to take his place and bring him to the sidelines, check him out, make sure everything's okay. Minute 14 to go, first half. Bulldogs from their own 30. First down and 10. Jake Lacoste out of the backfield, split left. They'll give it to Matt Soot, the fullback, breaking a tackle as Matt Soot takes it across the 40 for a first down. Pickup of 11 for Soot. Rumbling his way to the 41-yard line.
Boy, and if that corner here on this near side, he breaks the first tackle, actually steamrolls the first tackle. If that corner from this side doesn't come through and go low on Soot, Soot may still be running.
First and 10, West from their own 41. Still a lot of time. Minute 7. Again, to give it to Matt Soot. Again, he breaks the first tackle. This time not as much, as he'll take it for about 3 to the 44, and we'll get a whistle and a timeout. That's taken by West Albany, and I believe their final timeout of the first half.
Yeah, I think it is too. And Coach Nikos, he just wanted to get that clock stopped here. We've got the ball approaching midfield, the ball at the Bulldog 44 here. He wants to be able to take a couple shots down the field here, but wanted to be able to talk to Lahota and just make sure that he's got at least the next 2 plays in his hip pocket going out there in case he doesn't get first down yardage and the clock doesn't stop. Then he'd be able to quickly run the next play.
Say our hello to a West Albany's own Caped Crusader, John Birchfield, making his appearance here in the booth to collect some free treats. Good timing from John.
He's getting to sample Patricia's Pat's
before we
cookies before we get a chance. Doesn't seem right.
No, something's not right about that. I will do plenty in the post game. Yeah, and we've also got one of my favorite fall treats here, the caramel corn.
Oh, the caramel
big bag of caramel corn.
Victoria Henderson and Dave Keister. The Keisters always very gracious with their gifts of caramel corn. Gave us the heads up last week that caramel corn was coming this week, and they came through. So certainly want to thank them for that. We will thank them again throughout the broadcast.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
I'm always excited on the way to these games. It's fun to broadcast, but tonight I was especially excited because I knew that caramel corn was coming. Matt Soot's going to get another carry here out of the timeout. Not a lot of room. He'll get 2 to the 46, and the Bulldogs will go into the hurry-up because it will be 3rd down and 5 here for West Albany. 45 seconds and running. And the Towel Boy brought a new ball out onto the field. And they'll finally whistle it in and burn a couple of seconds. Lahota back to throw on 3rd down. Steps up. Going to fire deep. Looking for Jake Lacoste, and it's incomplete. And here comes a flag. Now, who are they going to call this on? Because there was a bump, but Jake Lacoste, I think, initiated the contact.
I was thrilled that was going to be a no call on that play. I thought that was just incidental contact. Both of them have the right to the ball when it's in the air like that. Certainly can't call this on Lebanon. There's no way.
It's got to be on Lacoste. Well, we've been surprised in the past. We've certainly been wrong in the past, and Lebanon is backing up, feeling that this is going to be a defensive penalty.
Yeah, and
it is. And that's,
I just
that's
don't
a tough
get
break.
it.
That's a tough break. Jostling for position. They did come together, but I don't know. I almost thought Jake had dipped the shoulder a little bit. A boost for West Albany. They'll take it at the Warrior 40, 1st and 10. 33.3 to go here in the first half. Lahota quickly under center. Will go back to throw. Sets up. Wants to fire deep. Far sideline. Looking for Breslin. Jump ball situation, and Breslin pulls it in with a flag down again.
Now the referee is waving this off, and I think he may say that Breslin pushed off on that play.
Is this going to be your the mascara on the field here?
I'm not sure what that means.
Makeup call.
Oh.
You never heard that before?
I have never heard that before.
Well, here it is. Let's see. It's a touchdown as it stands, but official talking to Cody Lahota. And Lahota's jogging to the sideline saying it's going to be a touchdown. Pass interference, Lebanon. It's not a makeup call. It's a touchdown for West. 40 yards on the strike. Lahota to Breslin. 34-0 West.
I learned something tonight. That was a beautifully thrown ball.
It was.
And probably the best defended of the balls thrown in the end zone to Brendan Breslin tonight, and goes up with the sure hands and gets him. I'm thrilled for him to be able to haul that in after struggling a couple of times with passes into the end zone tonight.
Weist just rockets the extra point into the parking lot. 35-0 West. It's been interesting this year with Breslin. He has made some of the finest catches that we've seen in our 7+ years of doing this. He's also dropped a couple that to us would seem routine. It's incredible. But there's another fine catch in the end zone for the touchdown. 35-0 Bulldogs with 25.4 seconds to go in the first half.
I was just so concerned when I saw that flag, because it was on the far side of the field. It was as far away on the football field as it can be from us. And I thought that the way they had thrown that flag, it appeared to me that maybe they had called that Breslin had pushed in the back and cleared some space for himself. That was my biggest concern. But what a catch, and what a throw by Cody Lahota. He put that up beautifully. Nice tight spiral and put it exactly where it needed to be. Beautiful pass and catch here in the Bulldogs. They lead this game 35-0 in what has become a very slow first half coming to an end. But I tell you, West Albany has really done a job in all phases of this game.
They assess a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff, so Matt Weist will be kicking from the Lebanon side of the field. And we'll see if he just squibs this or if he really wants to show off and put it out of the end zone. On back-to-back throws, the throw where the pass interference was drawn by Jake Lacoste, Cody Lahota really showing off the arm strength. Pass to Jake was a rocket. The Bulldogs got bailed out by the pass interference call. Then Breslin, pass interference or not, hauls in the touchdown, and Matt Weist sends it through the uprights on the kickoff. Much to the delight of the crowd, and Matt running off, signaling it's good as he puts it through off the tee from the 45.
Oh, draws some laughter from the crowd and from the West Albany reserves. And oh, man.
Moment of levity for everybody here in what has been, again, kind of just a choppy first half. A lot of penalties, but the Bulldogs have broken it open here, 35-0 with 25 seconds to go in the first half. Warriors to the line from their own 20. C.J. Hargis under center. And we'll give it to the fullback. He has taken it out to the 24-yard line. Goes Taman Pravatsky. Lebanon going to try and hustle up here. Get another snap off. 2nd down 6. Lebanon from their own 24. Sargis. Again, a little miscommunication. Finally does get it off to the fullback. As that will expire the first half. The carry was made by Jacob Gillette, it looked like, and that will end the first half. West Albany 35, Lebanon nothing. We'll take a break and come right back to 920 KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV at Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV at Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
920 KSHO.
Halftime here at West Albany High School, 35-0. West Albany leading Lebanon here on senior night. I said in the pregame, I'll say it again. It's become sort of a misnomer saying that it is senior night because we certainly hope that the Bulldogs will have another home game ahead of them. But that would be in the postseason, next Friday night at Corvallis to wrap up the regular season. It appears as though the Bulldogs will have that game between themselves and a home date in the playoffs, because right now 35-0, this one well in hand.
Yeah, it is well in hand. When you think about what Lebanon did to Corvallis last week, and it's really tough to play the common opponent card, especially in high school football.
Sure.
You want to be a little careful of that, but Lebanon handed Corvallis, a 30 to 40 point loss last week, and really racked up a bunch of yardage. Bulldog defense has held this Lebanon offense in check. Now we know that their starting quarterback, starting running back are both out with injury. That certainly would have an impact on any team. But West Albany really has done a good job of corralling anything offensively that Lebanon's wanted to do. And then what do you say about Jake Lacoste and the job this offense has done? It hasn't all been Jake. Jake's certainly getting his yards, getting into the end zone, but Cody Lahota has managed a very good first half of football here, fighting through a lot of penalties. It'll be interesting to see if we have penalty yardage stats here from Paul and Jeff tonight, because so many penalties. I don't recall this many first half penalties in any of our games this season, and so certainly, but really in all phases of the game, West Albany has been stellar tonight, and it shows on the scoreboard with this 35-0 lead.
Early in the season, the first couple of games really became marathons, because not only the number of penalties, but how long it took the officials to discuss those penalties. Tonight, the discussions haven't been as long, but boy, there have been flags galore on the field. As you never know if it's something where it's a point of emphasis or just a particular crew. I feel like we've seen this crew before this season, and it's been somewhat the same. They like to throw a lot of flags. It's broken up some of the tempo of the game, but West Albany has been able to fight that off. They get the 3 rushing touchdowns from Jake Lacoste. They get the late passing touchdown from Lahota to Breslin. But let's talk a little bit about something we don't get to talk about much, punt returns, because JT Valenzuela had himself a heck of a first half returning punts. He actually took 2 to the end zone. 1 was called back by penalty. So on the next one, he just broke it again. Took it in. That one stands. JT has his touchdown.
Yeah, JT, we've talked so much over the course of the season about how hard he hits on defense and how special he is on special teams and what he could do. And we've talked about his speed and his elusiveness on offense, but he really hasn't had all that much opportunity to showcase it. Tonight, he certainly has taken advantage of some opportunities. And really, I've been impressed with the punt returns, not just the fact that he's gotten to the end zone with a punt return, but the fact how he did it. Yeah. So elusive, cutting back, cutting against the grain a couple of times. Early misses by Lebanon as he just makes that one little juke move, and then he's off and running. And certainly blocking in front of him has been good, but he has seen some seams tonight. The vision in punt return for JT Valenzuela has been special tonight. He's been fun to watch.
And in addition to Jake Lacoste running the ball, we've seen a lot of Matt Soot running the ball here in the first half. Good to see Matt just back in uniform. He did not play last Thursday. That was probably just for precaution. The Bulldogs felt they would have an easy ride against Dallas. They did with a 42-0 win. But Matt Soot did not press down in that game, back in uniform tonight, and getting a lot of play on both sides of the ball. He's been disruptive on the defensive line, as he always is, but getting to carry the ball a lot in that fullback position. Doing a nice job.
Yeah, you like to see that. It gives Hiram Crook a little bit of a break, too, there at fullback. And just kind of mixing things up. I think Coach Nyquist wants to try different combinations. But the other thing you do when you mix it up like that, if you have an injury and you need to go with a little bit different lineup, it isn't deer in the headlights. It's a situation where you've tested these guys at different spots, not just in practice, but against guys with different color uniforms on. It pays dividends down the road if you have to fight through some injuries and have some kids that can't suit up for a particular game.
It is halftime here at West Albany High School, 35-0, West leading Lebanon. Let's take a break, and Dave or Ryan, whoever we have back on the board there, I'm going to disconnect the Skype and reconnect it in the hopes that that'll keep us going. So just a heads up back there. We'll take a break, come back, and have Paul Daskalos with our first half stats after this timeout at 9:20 KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at West Albany High School, very pleased to welcome back to the broadcast Paul Daskalos. It's been a little bit since we've had you with us, Paul. Filling in tonight for Jeff. You're kind of doing the tag team thing. It's like Lebanon with the quarterback faking to the fullback. I didn't know who was going to take the headset to the last second, but good to have you back with us. You've got our first half stats here, and birthday wish I know you wanted to get out.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for having me. It has been a little while. I think the last time I had the headset on was a Dallas home basketball game last year for West Albany that didn't work out so well for West Albany at the end. So it's good to be back in an environment like this, and statistically, as you can probably imagine, with the score being 35-0 in favor of West Albany, the stats are fairly one-sided as well. Again, thanks for having me. Jeff is also here, and he's keeping an eye on the defensive stats for me because football's hard to do.
It is.
It's hard to keep track of. And want to wish my wife a happy birthday. I know you guys had said that earlier to her. So happy birthday, Patty. And taking a look at some numbers here. Dominated the first half by West Albany, primarily on the ground. Total of 178 yards rushing for West Albany, led, of course, by Jake Lacoste with 11 carries, 154 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Matt Soot also carried the ball. He was effective, 4 carries for 24 yards. Through the air, Cody LaHoda was 6 for 9. He had a couple plays that almost looked like could have been bigger, just didn't quite work out. 6 for 9 in the air, 87 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. That interception, like you had mentioned, was kind of like a punt for West Albany, so it didn't really hurt them too bad at all. So total numbers, 265 yards total in offense for West Albany. For Lebanon, 48 total yards, all on the ground, multiple ball carriers, kind of hard to keep track of who has the ball. They come out of the scrum, and we're scrambling to find out who carried. Their leading rusher was Riley Wessel with 21 yards total. They had a total of 24 carries on the ground for 48 yards, 3 attempts through the air with no success for Lebanon. Penalties. We saw some big penalties in that first half. It was special teams, couple touchdowns could have gone, not for penalties. I know JT, of course, had the touchdown on the punt return to make up for the one that was called back. So he was very dynamic on special teams. 75-yard touchdown for JT Valenzuela. Defensively, pretty even night for West Albany linebackers. Leading tackler, Gabe Stone was 6. JT Valenzuela, again, all over the football field with 6 tackles as well. Carson French pitched in with 7 tackles himself. So pretty good night in the first half for West Albany, leading 35-0. I look forward to visiting with you guys at the end of the game.
Sounds good. Thank you, Paul.
And thanks for having me.
Of course. Paul Daskalos with the halftime stats here tonight. West Albany leading Lebanon 35-0 and in complete control here in the first half. Good numbers again from Cody LaHoda, 6 of 9 through the air, as Paul said, 87 yards, the touchdown, and the interception that was on a 4th down play, and it was not what I would say a poor pass. It was thrown to the end zone. It was thrown up for grabs, and the defensive player for Lebanon made a nice break on the ball and picked it off. It was Matthew Tracy that got the pick. So nothing harmed from that interception. Another well-managed game from Cody.
Yeah, it really is. And that on that particular interception is just a little bit underthrown. And if you're at a different spot on the field, you don't make that throw. I mean, it's just, if you're going to throw that, if you're going to be underthrown, doing that in the end zone and they bring it out to the 20, it's just not that big a deal. And he's not going to like that in his stats. But other than that, it just really was no harm. And West Albany certainly it didn't faze them as they've got this 35-0 lead, and really you can't say enough what the Bulldogs did there in that first half. Statistically, they're dominating. Time of possession probably is fairly equal. I don't think he kept track of that tonight, but Lebanon, they had a couple of sustained drives then that ultimately stalled. Penalties hurt them, and West Albany defense created a few 3-and-outs there in the first half, but West Albany with that quick strike offense really, I think if you looked at time of possession, I think they'd probably be pretty equivalent.
Well, you got a score to pass along here that I think is going to raise some eyebrows. Now, next week we talked about the matchup with Corvallis, and annually that seems like that has been the toughest game for West Albany year in and year out. Now, this year, obviously, Silverton has risen to the top of the league, but we figured Corvallis would still be a force, at least at the beginning of the season. It appeared as though they would be in the mix as always. But Corvallis has fallen on some hard times. They lost to Lebanon 56-28. They lost to Crescent Valley something like 52-16. They lost to Silverton 49-0. Tonight they're playing Dallas, and you would think, maybe that's a chance for Corvallis to get back on the right track. At halftime of that game, Dallas 34 and Corvallis 7. Shocking.
Oh, it's absolutely shocking in how far down Corvallis has fallen. We know what Lebanon did to Corvallis last week, and that is just an absolutely shocking score. You almost want to get a second opinion just to make sure that what you're getting is accurate. But that's just really something. And Corvallis, you know that if they have a down year, they are very, very young. And,
yes.
So you know that they will be back. But that's a surprising score.
That score coming courtesy of Scott Landgren, who Scott and I generally exchange texts during the game when Lebanon is elsewhere. Scott keeps the statistics for the KGAL crew. He's just down the row here tonight and listening in. Hi, Scott. He's got us in the ears. I don't know how that's going to make my dad feel that he's listening to our broadcast tonight, but we'll take it.
I'm not telling Ray.
35-0 West Albany has the lead here at the half. We'll take a timeout. Come back in just a moment at 9:20 KSHO.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Yes. 35-0 West Albany with the lead here at halftime. Exchanging the scouting report here with Jeremy Burright, who would know a thing or two about a good arm from a quarterback.
Yeah.
You want to give it to Jeremy?
Yeah.
You got a headset. He was talking a moment ago about how he wanted to get on the air. Hello, Jeremy Burright. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I was just mentioning you would know a thing or two about good arms. As you say, Cody Lahota shows off the good arm, firing the ball in the air. How's baseball going at Portland?
Baseball's great. We just got done with fall ball, and we got a good crew this year up there, and we're just going to compete for a WCC title.
Now, the fun thing, I think, with Portland, you get to play Oregon State, you get to play Oregon. I don't know who else would be on the Portland schedule, but those two games, they got to be real showcase games for you where you want to get out and show your stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to play against the hometown team that you watched your whole life, the one that you grew up idolizing. But our first trip's actually to Mississippi State.
Oh, wow.
And there's going to be 10,000 people there that first night, so we'll see how that goes.
Who's going to get the ball? Do you know yet? It's a long way off.
We don't know, but I sure would like it.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Down in Starkville. It's going to be warm, too, I would think, even in the spring.
It's going to be warm, and people are going to be crazy.
It's going to be nice. Now, how much practice have you gotten in on the hardwood? Because we've seen some clips of you throwing down some pretty serious dunks. You getting in any time on the court?
I shut that down a little bit. Coaches saw the clips. They were impressed, but they were a little upset about it at the same time. So I went ahead and shut down the basketball and football career, and just going to keep playing with the baseball for a while.
There you go. Well, we are getting set here to start the second half. Wish you the best of luck. It's good to see you as always, and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure seeing you, and it's good to see the Bulldogs, and they've really matured to a good football team, so good luck with the rest of the second half.
You're looking sharp. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Jeremy Burright with the Wally Ornaments tickets tonight. Got to give him some love on the air here at halftime. Impromptu. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it. That's how we roll. True professionals right here. As Jeremy makes his way. I think he's going to head out here pretty quick. Got a 35-0 game, but great to see him, and great. Really appreciate him looking me up. We got down to lunch yesterday.
Nice.
Catch up a little bit and find out what's going on with him. So always great to see him.
And it's always fun to see how people will react when you put him on the spot like that. But, not skipping a beat.
He was talking like he was going to have game. It was it was on. There was no way I was going to hold back on the headset there.
I think he wanted to interview you. I don't think he wanted to be the interviewee. He wanted to be the interviewer.
Well, I just got nothing to say.
Well, we've learned that over the years. Trust me, this is year 8. We know that. 35-0 West Albany with the lead here at the half. We'll head into the second half, and you kind of wonder how much we'll see of that starting offensive unit from West Albany. They've had several games this year where they've gotten the second half completely off. At 35-0, you figure they'll see some time here in the second half.
Yeah, I think probably the majority of the third quarter. I think the Bulldogs would like to just play their regular game here. You know, we're approaching postseason, Ryan, and you got to try and get your guys 4 quarters of play. It wouldn't surprise me a bit if West coaching staff left the majority of the starters in for the third quarter, maybe even try to get to a running clock situation here, and then get primarily in the fourth quarter with reserves. I think that's probably what we'll see. Certainly, he won't go to the well too early here, because he knows that Lebanon has some weapons offensively, and he knows their defense is solid under Coach Jim Phillips. So, it's just one of those things where I think we'll see majority of starters throughout the third quarter.
And keep in mind, with this playoff format this year, the top 8 teams in the state and 5A get locked into a first-round bye. Teams 9 through 24 will play to enter the 16-team bracket. So those teams seeded 1 through 8 get a first-round bye. It hasn't been the case the last few years, as everybody has played in that first week. So the Bulldogs, in essence, if they gave their starters the second half off tonight, you never know if next week becomes a rout. You have kids taking a lot of time off, plus a full week. Sometimes that's good, you heal up, but sometimes that's bad, you get a little rust.
Yeah, if you're a little nicked up, you certainly want that kind of break, but if you've got momentum and you seem to be peaking, then you probably don't want to take that week off and have all that much break. It's really it's a challenging situation for a coaching staff. They've got an experienced coaching staff here at West Albany, though. They know how to practice during those off weeks. But you're absolutely right. You want to have momentum going in. You were talking about the 9 through 24. I did a little calculation here.
Yeah.
If everybody, the teams that were going to get buys, and then the top 8 teams below them all won their games, West Albany would start the round of 16 at home against Roosevelt.
All right. Good for you.
If things ended today,
if it stopped right now.
Yes, before tonight's games.
If they called the season at this very moment, it appears they're lining up for a kickoff. I don't think they're going to do that. I think we're going to play this one out.
Yeah, I just got a text from Bryce Wells listening to our broadcast tonight. Came back to town. You have seen him.
I didn't see him today, and I wondered.
You didn't. You were hoping to.
Yes.
Bryce
several
Wells,
Fridays in a row.
Who has been in this booth with us, keeping the stats at one point last year. Great to hear from Bryce. Welcome back to Albany, Bryce.
Second half begins with a return on the short kick by Jackson Soto across the 30-yard line. Out to the 31, near 32. West Albany will start with possession, 1st and 10. At the outset of the third quarter, leading 35-0.
Did have a score, too, from the South Albany-Woodburn game. It was South Albany 19-14 at the half, leading Woodburn.
Yeah, I think Scott, he had passed that one along to me as well. Also, Silverton 16 and Crescent Valley 7. That courtesy of the Scott Landgren Score Network. Ben Engel is at quarterback right now for West Albany, the seniors. He goes under center, 1st and 10. Little motion. They didn't see it. Soto in the slot flinched and no flags. Engel goes back to throw. Fires deep for Breslin, and it's just a little bit underthrown, incomplete. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, promptly after I say that, I think we'll see primarily the starters. We see Ben Engel there at quarterback starting the third quarter. I like that move. I think, if you're going to give anybody a little bit extra break, it's certainly your quarterback. Number 11, Lahota, has certainly earned it. But also the thing that it does is it gives Ben Engel even more snaps under his belt going into the postseason in case Lahota were to go down with an injury. And Engel's going to be the guy.
And with primarily the first string. Now, there's no Jake Lacoste. He's out of the game. Anthony Thompson is in at tailback. Hiram Crook is fullback on 2nd and 10 from the 31. This is Thompson with the carry, breaking a tackle at the line, and getting across the 35-yard line out to near the 38. It'll be a pickup of about 6, 3rd and 4 upcoming for West.
Oh, now they're just coming in by flood. And you know, our popularity just continues to gain momentum, gain strength. Daniel Spangler, got to say hi to him, too, listening to the broadcast. He and Bryce pretty close. I'm guessing they're sitting right next to each other, and both have texted us tonight. But say hi to Daniel Spangler as well. Glad you're listening to the broadcast tonight.
Third down, a long 3. Engel on a keep. Late pitch for Thompson. First down and more for Thompson into Warrior territory and down close to the 47. Ben Engel runs that option very nicely. We saw an electric run against Crescent Valley earlier in the season. Late pitch there to Thompson for a first down into Warrior territory.
And you know, the other thing this does that just dawned on me here is one senior pitch to the other. This is a nice gesture by Coach Nyquist too, because you've got reserve Ben Engel, offensive reserve Ben Engel there at quarterback, Anthony Thompson there at running back right now. You've got the seniors out there on senior night. I think it's a great move. As another senior,
Crook.
Hiram Crook here in at fullback here with a nice run.
Crook takes it to the 40, a pickup of 8 on first down. Right now the Bulldogs out there with Ben Engel, senior quarterback, Hiram Crook, senior fullback, Anthony Thompson, senior tailback, Brendan Breslin, senior receiver, and now Jamison DeFore is out there as well, senior receiver.
Yeah, I think this is just a great gesture here as Coach Nyquist is recognizing these seniors by allowing them to play. And it's not garbage time. I mean, to start the third quarter, I think that's just a great move.
Engel rolling to throw, in trouble, sets up right, and he's going to go down for a loss. Back to the 44-yard line, loss of about 4 on the play. As Engel took quite a pop. Then he'll get back and bring it to the huddle on a third down. About 6 upcoming here for West. Also, I just want to mention quickly here, while a couple senior offensive linemen that don't always get a ton of mention, but Cole Zimwalt, Colton Brandt are the 2 seniors on that West Albany offensive line.
Yeah, that's certainly great. Love to see that. You know, certainly have had an impact on this season. Those 2 players right there, and pretty senior-laden group out there on the field right now. And poor Ben Engel takes that shot, takes the loss on the run, takes that shot, and he's got to run all the way over to Coach Nyquist to get the next play. They're going to have trouble getting this one off.
The hand is up now, 5 seconds for the snap. As a flinch on the offensive line, and a false start. We'll take a third down and 6 and make it third down and 11 with 9:25 to go in the third quarter. 35-0 West Albany. Seems a good time here, Wally, since we're in the midst of giving some shouts out to say my nightly hello to Dan Lacoste and to Diane Lacoste if they both happen to be listening. Happy weekend to both of them. I saw Joe Lacoste down below wearing the Air Force colors tonight.
I'm just busted up. I just got confirmation that Daniel and Bryce are sitting right next to each other. They're cracking up, and guess who else is? Chase Dasklos. Say hi to Chase, Daniel, and Bryce. Don't text me again. I got work to do.
Do you really?
No, I really don't. I got cookies and caramel corn to eat.
False start or delay of game on the West Albany here. We'll back this up 5 yards. Another penalty will make it now third down and 16 for the Bulldogs from their own 46. They've instituted the no texting while driving here in Oregon. I'm going to institute the no texting while broadcasting. I'm going to confiscate that phone until the end of the year.
Oh, man, bring a friend. It's going to take more than you.
Put that in my drawer and lock it up. Third and 16. Ben Engel back to throw. Sets up. Fires deep. Looking for Breslin. Breslin adjusts to make the catch and has a first down inside the Warrior 20 and down to the 19-yard line.
You talk about an adjustment, Ryan. That ball was only about 10 yards from him when he finally turned and got a good look at where the ball was. Nice soft hands and brings it in for the huge gain. Beautiful pitch and catch from Engel to Breslin.
36 yards on the pass play. Breslin, a nice adjustment downfield. First down in the red zone. Left hash mark. Crook and Thompson behind Engel. Thompson got the carry, lost the ball, and I think fell on it. The windup is about a half-yard gain. Thompson did not pull that in cleanly, but was able to fall on it, save the possession. 8:15 to go now, third quarter. Clock still moving, 35-0. West Albany with the lead.
You always worry when you have a different combination of players in the game, Ryan. You always worry about not only center quarterback exchange, but timing certainly. And you know, you've got with that different combination, things are just a little bit out of whack there. And sometimes you're going to put the ball on the carpet. Bulldogs fortunate to get that one back.
Second down 9 from the 18. Engel on a little bootleg, in trouble, lost the football, and Lebanon is going to fall on it. Back at the 30-yard line. Luke Rapé forced the fumble. Blake Warren recovers it. And the Warriors will take it from their own 30, 1st and 10 with 7:44 to go in the third.
Yeah, Rapé wasn't fooled by the fake from Engel, and his Engel gave the fake and was going to do a little bootleg there, put the ball on his hip, and it was a pretty good fake. Rapé just wasn't fooled by it, grabs Engel and just kind of tears him away from the ball, and Lebanon recovers, and they're in business here. Still on their side of the field. We've got 7:44 to go here in the third, and the Bulldogs still holding to this 35-0 lead.
Bulldogs with new corners in the game. Forrest Thomas, left cornerback. Calvin Chamberlain, right cornerback. As Lebanon, with their first offensive play of the second half, a pitch out to Braden Childress, and Childress gets about 3 before he's stacked up and driven backwards. Again, a host of Bulldogs there. Gabe Stone, as always, emerges from the bottom of the pile. Yeah, Valenzuela and Clark had help.
Yeah, Tanner Gardner there too, and such good team speed defensively here. A hallmark of West Albany football over the last several years has been the speed of their defense. Not always the biggest from that front 4, front 3, but certainly great team speed defensively. Cures a lot of ills. I'll tell you, West Albany very, very solid defensively.
2nd down 7 as Lebanon throws the screen and will pick up a first down. Firing left is C.J. Hargis, completing it to Riley Wessel. Those two have alternated snaps at quarterback tonight. Now Wessel on the receiving end of the pass from Hargis. First completion of the night for the Warriors. Gives them a first down to their own 43. Pick up a 10 on the play. 1st and 10 Lebanon. Under 7 to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs continuing to lead 35-0. It appears as though Cody LaHoda, Jake Lacoste, the offensive stars, done for the night. The handoff straight ahead on 1st and 10. Will net a couple for Lebanon. Childress picks up 2. There was some question before the game about who would do the ball handling tonight for Lebanon. Who would be the quarterback? They weren't sure. They knew they'd see a lot of Taman Pravatsky, probably some of Tim Farrell, but Braden Childress has gotten some carries. We've seen Riley Wessel with a couple of keepers. C.J. Hargis has been in. Luke Rapé has carried the ball. So Lebanon kind of running back by committee. Hargis on 2nd down and 8, drawing West Albany into the neutral zone.
Nice hard count there. It's a talent by a quarterback to be able to do a hard count without bobbing his head. Very difficult to do, but because if you get the big head bob, then you're going to more than likely you're going to end up with a procedure penalty. But that time I didn't see the quarterback move, but obviously his cadence was a little bit different, drew the Bulldogs off.
5-yard penalty will make it 2nd down and 3 right at midfield. As we start to get down the line into the playoffs, those penalties are something that will have to be shored up. Hargis under center on 2nd and 3, I formation. Gives it to Childress, trying to go off left tackle, and Childress will be stacked and dropped. Short gain on the play. Matt Soot was able to string it out wide, and JT Valenzuela, who's done his very nice job of coming in from the safety spot, also there to clean it up. Short of the first down by a yard, maybe a little less, 3rd and very short.
Yeah, Valenzuela's got a long ways to travel from that safety spot, and anytime you see him in on a tackle in the offensive backfield, he's got that great closing speed, and you could tell that's effort right there.
3rd down and 1. West Albany really stacking the box. Hargis a long count. Falling through the line, sharing the carry with the fullback as they will pick up the first down. See who officially got the carry. Both Hargis and Pravatsky kind of falling through the line. It's Pravatsky who got the carry. 2 yards, first down Lebanon.
Well, Lebanon moving the sticks a couple of times here without the benefit of penalty and doing a nice job on the ground here, exclusively on the ground for Lebanon. Churning up clock here, about 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Lebanon moving now in Bulldog territory.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 46. Hargis on play action, back to throw, and underthrows his target on the near side, Derek Woolies. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Ryan, these teams are playing their 8th game of the season here, and Lebanon's only thrown 50 passes on the season, and when you have that few repetitions, that few times putting the ball in the air, things have to click pretty perfectly, and we've seen Lebanon quarterback. Plus, you have your reserve quarterback in there. Pass plays have a lot less likely to be successful.
On 2nd and 10, a pitch to Childress off left side. Childress, good yardage, 1st down and more inside the 35 of West Albany. Down near the 32, Braden Childress a pickup of about 14 and a Warrior first down. Now Lebanon trying to get their first points of the night. They have not had many deep marches into West Albany territory. Had one that got destroyed by penalties, but now a 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 32. 4:40 to go in the third. West leads at 35-0. As Hargis, another pitch to Childress, this time coming right. And Childress inside the 25 before he is leveled. The ball comes out. Valenzuela with the big hit to force the fumble. Looked like Lebanon got back on it at the 25. Maybe near the 24. It'll go up as a gain of 8. Lebanon keeping possession and having some good success with the option. First left, now right.
Forrest Thomas in on that tackle as well, and I tell you, there was a lot of contact there. Jarred the ball loose, but Lebanon in the right spot to fall on that. Going to bring up a pretty short second down.
Second down, about 3. Well, just inside the 25. As Hargis gave it straight up the middle to the fullback and down close to the 20-yard line with a first down is Jacob Gillette. Yeah, it's 22.
Are you asking me?
No, I'm looking down because Jacob Gillette listed as a 5'9", 150 receiver. And the young man who carried the ball looked bigger than 5'9", 150. Now is the fullback with Taman Pravatsky, the deep back. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 20. Hargis from the right hash mark, back to throw, throws a backwards pass. It's caught by Pravatsky. This will go as a run. And Pravatsky does well to get about a yard. Ball came out, but after Pravatsky had hit the ground. Pickup of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 19. A very quick third quarter, 3:24 to go in the third.
Yeah, and the kind of quarter that West Albany wants, really, as Lebanon's had some success here on the ground and really mixing things up with their play calling. Now we've seen the ball put in the air a couple of times. That time a backwards pass, so it is, you're right, it's technically a run. But Lebanon has methodically moved the ball down the field.
Second down and 9. It's Hargis again giving the ball to the fullback. Not much there this time, about a half yard.
Yeah, that defensive line got a huge surge there. There was no place for that play to go. And the fullback, he got stacked up right away there at the line on first contact, and somebody got him around the ankles. That play was going nowhere.
Well, just go ahead and call it Gillette. I can't believe that it is. But it's that number 22. Sizable young man is the fullback who got no gain. 3rd down and 9 at the Bulldog 19. Left hash with Hargis under center and back to throw on play action. Over the middle, caught. It's going to be a touchdown for Lebanon. Tyler Hull on the receiving end as Hargis on play action finding Hull wide open down the seam. And the Warriors are in the end zone, 35-6 West with 2:22 to go in the third.
Impressive series for Lebanon. They marched that ball down the field very, very nicely. Few pass plays there, and then ultimately the pass play for touchdown. Very few passing touchdowns on the season for Lebanon, but they made that work on that one. Nicely run pattern, nice little crossing route there, get into the end zone. Lebanon gets on the board here, 35-6, trying to make it 7.
Yeah, they'll go for the point after here. It's out of the snap of Riley Westwell. The kick very nearly blocked by Valenzuela, and the extra point is no good. Push to the right. So the point after fails with 2:22 to go in the third quarter. It's now West Albany 35 and Lebanon 6. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Lynn Lanes in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday nights.
Stop by Lynn Lanes in Lebanon.
Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We are proud to support our local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. Willamette Community Bank. Service like no other. We promise. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Unforgettable 920.
Lebanon gets in the end zone here with 2:22 to go in the third. 35-6. West Albany with the lead. As Fletcher Bellinger with the kick, it's taken by Forrest Thomas at about the 5. Thomas out across the 20, near the 25 on the return. West Albany will start there. First down and 10. Ben Engel will get his second offensive possession at quarterback. Got a nice march last time, but then the fumble forced by Luke Rapé turns into a Warrior touchdown.
Yep, kind of a little naked bootleg out there for Ben Engel on that previous series. Ball gets torn from him, and Lebanon falls on it. Goes the length of the field, get into the end zone. Failed extra point, but nice drive by Lebanon to get into the end zone, showing something on offense.
Bulldog ball, 1st and 10 from their own 25, and Anthony Thompson with a carry up the middle, spinning his way out to the 28 for a gain of 3. Fletcher Bellinger in on the stop, having just kicked off a moment ago. 2nd down, 7 coming. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Got a couple others listening that we know are listening to the broadcast. Joel Jameson listening to our broadcast tonight. Want to say hi to him. Keith Rohrbaugh, Dalton Cooley listening to our broadcast tonight. Say hi to all of them. Appreciate the support.
Have we said hi to the Holmans yet?
I haven't said hi to the Holmans. Tom and Lois Holman. We know they're listening. Always want to say hi to them.
On 2nd and 7, Engel to throw, and the slant incomplete. Leading Jamison DeFore just a little too much on that inside slant. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Nice moment before the game on senior night, of course. Ben Engel, it's Dad Rich, the athletic director here at West Albany, of course, sharing an embrace before the game.
Is there a nicer guy around than Rich Engel?
Not that I've seen. Certainly not to my right.
And he does such a great job as athletic director.
I'm glad you missed that.
What's
I said certainly not to my right. To my left, maybe.
Yeah.
Pass is tipped at the line as Engel again trying to throw the slant. It falls incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 7, and the Bulldogs will have to punt here. You're very kind. I like you a lot. You know that.
If your opinion meant one, now soft words. Well, yeah. I had my response all lined up, but I politely waited for you to finish, and then you come through with the kind words. Oh man.
4th down and 7. Brendan Breslin on to punt. Got to see Brendan Breslin's parents just before the game. Breslin was honored on senior night. His punt angled towards the sideline. It's going to hit at the 48 and go out of bounds. 20-yard punt with no return. Lebanon will start 1st and 10, minute 24 to go in the third quarter. 35-6, West Albany with the lead. Mention this ad from Go and Postal, and you'll receive 10% off your UPS or FedEx shipments. In North Albany's Hickory Station, your friendly neighborhood shipping center, Go and Postal, offering UPS, FedEx, and U.S. postal services. Now, the wind has really picked up. I think everybody out there that's not under cover has been pretty fortunate. Not a lot of rain here throughout the night.
Not a lot of rain and not particularly cold. Now, I understand we're in the booth, right, and we don't feel that little breeze so much coming through here. But you know, for the time of year it is and what the weather's been doing, I think pretty fortunate that it's still reasonably warm.
Well, and you lead me perfectly into that because it was chilly before the game. And Coach Phillips, opposite, wearing shorts. Luke Rapé, a carry for Lebanon. It goes nowhere off left side. Might have lost a half yard, but if you listen to West Albany broadcasts throughout the years, you would remember us mentioning on the coldest of nights, Jim Phillips would still be in the shorts. That tradition continues.
Had a chance to talk to head coach Josh Dykes here prior to the game, as well as he brought some equipment up to the box before your arrival, and he was in shorts as well. I think Coach Phillips has some influence over that situation.
It's rubbed off. It's movement prior to the snap. Luke Rapé and Brian Garcia play the he said game, both pointing at each other. Both had gotten into the neutral zone. The question will be who's going to get flagged. It will be on Lebanon. So Rapé, the guilty party, 5-yard penalty will make it 2nd down and 16 coming up here for Lebanon, back at their own 46.
Moves the ball back into their own side of the field here as Lebanon with a long 2nd down now. Been generating some offensive yardage here in this third quarter as we approach the end of the third.
And the Bulldogs still primarily with their defensive starters. The 2 cornerbacks are different, Forrest Thomas and Calvin Chamberlain. As a give goes to the fullback. And getting good chunky yardage back down to the West Albany 45-yard line is that number 22 again. I'll tell you what, Jacob Gillette's going to get a lot of credit for carries here tonight because that's the only thing I can say. He's listed as 22 on the roster. So he takes it to the 45. where it'll be third down, about 9 upcoming here for Lebanon. Argus under center, I formation. Blitz coming. Gives it straight up the middle. And down to the 40, maybe in 2-down territory, as that's going to end the third quarter. Just still trying to see who the ball carrier was. Gillette, why not? End of 3, West Albany 35, Lebanon 6. We'll come back for the 4th at KSHO.
Competition is tough in the hairstyling business. The cutting room on Pacific across from Pops doesn't mind, because just like the Bulldogs, we strive for excellence with confidence. The cutting room wants to be your salon. Call us for an appointment at 541-928-0811.
It's that time again, Les Schwab's Fall Tire Sale, our biggest sale of the year. Come in and get great deals on some of our most popular tires. But hurry, the Fall Tire Sale ends October 31st. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at West Albany High School, getting set to start the 4th quarter. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, Paul Daskalos, Jeff Kiter, all with you here tonight. Our thanks for joining us on this Friday. Just one more regular season Friday. That will be 1 week from tonight over at Corvallis High School on that defined field turf there at Corvallis. It's a good spot from which to call a game, but hostile territory for West Albany next Friday. Corvallis will be coming in certainly a hurting team, having been slapped around several times this season by Mid-Atlantic Conference teams, and it seemed, again tonight by Dallas. That was 34-7 Dallas at halftime.
You know, Dallas winning that game tonight against Corvallis will up their record, which West Albany, helps West, as West has beaten Dallas. But then certainly won't generate as many points for us in beating Corvallis next week as it might have if they had beaten Dallas tonight.
Lebanon starting the 4th quarter on a 4th and 3 and a pitch. A broken play from the start. It's going to lose yardage. Kravatsky going nowhere. A turnover on downs. West will take it back from their own 45. Just underway here in the 4th, and Ben Engel back out onto the field as quarterback.
I like this. Ben's going to get the whole, or primarily all the snaps here in the second half. I like that move. Gets him into some flow. Gets him a little bit more comfortable under center. I think that's a great move by Coach Nyquist.
Got Crook and Thompson behind him in the eye. A pitch and a nice grab by Thompson, a one-handed grab as he looks to angle to the sidelines and cannot elude Riley Wessel, who will take him down after a gain of 4. Near midfield, Thompson made a nice one-handed catch. Took it out very close to midfield. Second down and a short 6 upcoming for West.
And great pursuit by Wessel. That was Thompson's not easy to catch, and he was able to chase him from behind. Got the shoestring tackle there. It was a nice play by Wessel.
Second down and 6. Right hash mark. Joe Birchfield tight end to the right. As a handoff goes to Thompson. Head of steam for Thompson into Warrior territory inside the 40 with a first down. So he gets down near the 37-yard line. Nice burst from Anthony Thompson.
Yeah, and a great fake by, it turned out it wasn't a fake. It faked me out. Ben Engel, I thought he still had the ball on his hip, but he had handed the ball to Thompson. Nice play by West. Sets up down the road for if you run that play again, for Engel to hang on to that ball to maybe put the ball in the air.
To the 36 of the Warriors. 1st and 10. Engel gives it to Crook, the fullback. Hiram Crook dragging a defender inside the 30, down near the 27. A hard-earned 8 for Crook on first down.
That's just a power run right there, and that right side of the line did a great job getting out in front of him. Steely Smith leading the way there. Or excuse me, not Steely Smith. Misread the number there. That was Colton Brandt out in front of that play with the lead block out there in front of Crook.
Second down and 2 for the Bulldogs at Warrior 27. Engel on a give to Thompson, and Thompson is hit and dropped for a loss. Good pursuit from Rappe and Farrell for Lebanon back at the 31. Loss of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, that was a case of just guessing correctly there. They certainly knew what, or thought they knew what West had dialed up right there. Lebanon made the nice defensive play. That's just a good defensive call right there as they tackle for loss.
9:55 to go in the game. 35-6. West Albany with the lead. 3rd down and 5 from the Warrior 30. A little broken play. Engel trying to get rid of it. Pitch to Thompson, and Thompson is dead to rights. Back in the backfield. He'll lose yardage back near the 38. Engel tried to pitch that ball out late on a broken play, and Thompson fortunate just to keep possession. Be 4th and long, 4th and 12.
Yeah, Thompson did a good job to fall on that ball. Ben, I think probably as he looks at film on that play, Ben Engel will say, yeah, I probably should have just eaten that one and lived to play another down, because that was almost going the other way.
4th down and long, and West Albany keeping the offense on the field from the Warrior 38. They need close to 13 for a first down. Engel with a whistle and a flag. From the far side, likely to be procedure west, and it is. 5 yards back. It will be 4th down and 18.
If you trust the body language, Brendan Breslin was the guilty party. I wish there was a video portion of the program right now, because his body language said it all.
So 4th down and 18 now, and this is benefiting Lebanon if they can get the stop. Engel back to throw. Going to try and heave this one deep. Breslin's got a ways to go to catch up to it, and it's going to be incomplete. Down around the 5-yard line. Over the head of Brendan Breslin, and a turnover on downs. Gives it back to the Warriors with 8:47 left. Lebanon from their own 43. First down and 10.
A couple of new numbers out there. Ryan Radke, 6 foot, 180-pound junior, is in defensively for the Bulldogs, as well as number 61 Anthony Iverson, 5'11", 190-pound junior, also in the game.
For any occasion, you can enjoy a complete, affordable family dining experience at Cascade Grill. That's on Knox Butte Road in Albany. The Cascade Grill. Also see Seth Lynn in on the defensive line for West Albany.
And Luke Hawkins also in the game. Had a chance to say hi last week. We'll say hi this week. Annabelle Forster, his great-great-aunt, listens to the games.
It's on 1st and 10. Keontae Davis with a carry, breaking free into Bulldog territory inside the 40. Down near the 35-yard line. Good burst by Davis on, I believe, his first carry of the night. 1st and 10 to the Bulldog 35. 8:41 to go in the game. 35-6. West Albany with the lead. You can draw some parallels between this game and the Duck game last night, which Oregon had in control early and then did not score in the second half as Arizona State made the final margin 22. Maybe on the same track here tonight as Keontae Davis gets a carry, gets 4 down to the 31.
Carson French able to pull him down from behind. Seth Lynn also in on the tackle, 5'7", 160-pound sophomore into the game. Also in, gets an assist on that tackle.
Jeff Kiter passing along 13 tackles tonight for Carson French on that last stop. Bulldog linebacker core really strong this year. As the give just inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line. This is Childress again. It's Jake Rapé now in at quarterback. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for Lebanon. 7:42 to go in the game. It was Jake Rapé who took the first practice snap of the night that I saw it. He went back to throw, and the ball slipped right out of his hand. That's a very wet night, but inauspicious warm-up beginning for Rapé. Under center on 3rd down and long, trying to keep, and I shouldn't have really said long. It was only 4, but it winds up a first down as Rapé are very close to it.
Yeah, going to be really close here. I don't think they'll have to measure. It looks like it's crossed that line. The yard marker's placed right on the 35-yard line, or excuse me, the 25-yard line. They are going to move the sticks.
Yeah, it is a first down. Jake Rapé, 6'1", 185 sophomore in there at quarterback. Keontae Davis, Braden Childress behind him. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. As Rapé on 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 25. Gives to Keontae Davis, and Davis right into the teeth again of the Bulldog defense with Iverson and Carson French in on the stop. Another tackle for French.
Clock continues to move. Under 7 minutes to go here in this game. Bulldogs getting some fresh faces in there. See if we can get them named as quickly as we can.
Yeah, both teams going deep into the depth chart here in the 4th quarter.
There's that little breeze in our face now. I tell you, that's getting a little chillier.
2nd down and 10 from the Bulldog 25. Willie is in motion. There's a give to Braden Childress. Childress, little gap inside the 20, down close to a first down near the 15-yard line. As Braden Childress, the junior running back, with another nice game.
And a generous spot. Looks like I thought he slid to that spot where they're about to place this ball. I suppose in a 35-6 game, you give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
That was pretty generous right there.
It is a first down for Lebanon at the Bulldog 15. On the left half hash mark, Childress still in as the deep back behind Rapé. Long count. And a give straight ahead to Gillette, who picks up about 6, maybe 7 inside the 10, close to the 8-yard line. Lebanon's starting to break off some big chunks in the running game.
You know, Ryan, I've got to throw a compliment your way. You are doing a great job of picking up those numbers, because those numbers are not easy to see, especially when they're facing us. Those are tough numbers to pick up off those jerseys.
I appreciate it, because one of the first things I was going to say after the game is, man, I've done a horrible job tonight picking up the numbers.
It's been really something. I don't know how you're picking them up as quickly as you are.
Jake Rapé gets the carry, keeps it inside the 5 for a first down. First and goal upcoming for Lebanon. You could call this garbage time if you want, but the Warriors have moved the ball well in the second half. First and goal upcoming from the Bulldog 3 with 5.5 to go. 35-6, West Albany with the lead. It was 35-0 at halftime.
Hiram Crook getting some defensive time. Been in primarily as a down lineman here in this series for Lebanon.
Rapé giving it straight up the middle to the fullback, who is in for a touchdown. Call it whomever you want, but number 22 is in for a Warrior score with 5:13 to play. Tell you, if that actually is Jacob Gillette, I'm going to feel terrible, but it just does not look like a 5'9" kid out there carrying the ball.
Hey, we play the hand we're dealt.
Exactly. Yep. You read the program, and that's all you can do. 5:13 left. 35-12. As that same 22 on for the point after that again is slicing right. No good. So 5:13 to go. It's now West Albany 35 and Lebanon 12. We'll take a break and return here to 920 KSHO.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Through September, Figaro's in Albany has the Santa Fe barbecue chicken. Tender cuts of chicken, dull pineapple, fresh onions, and sun-ripened tomatoes, all atop their signature barbecue sauce.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
We're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Welcome back here to West Albany High School. I don't know if you heard that little remix going on there in our ears. Sounded like the old record skipping. As Bellinger with the kick, a low line drive that will bounce past Forrest Thomas. He'll pick it up at the 12. Thomas looking for space up the middle and upended as he reaches the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. Thomas had that one skip right past him. And the Bulldogs backed up a little bit here to start with 5:08 to play, leading 35-12.
Forrest Thomas took a really hard shot to the thigh, and he's limping a little bit as he comes off. He's fine and smacking his hands together, but he took quite a shot there coming off under his own power. That was a tough one to figure. You feel for him there because you don't know if that ball's going to hop up. You know, playing it kind of like a shortstop, the ball rolling along the turf. Gets a little bit past him, but calmly picks it up. Gets a little bit of positive yardage here as the Bulldogs are in business offensively.
First and 10 as Engel gives it to Hiram Crook, and Crook with a seam up the middle. Big gain for Crook as he'll be taken down near the 40-yard line. Pick up of about 22 on first down for Hiram Crook.
That just looked, I mean, he went through the line of scrimmage completely untouched, and then it looked like nobody from Lebanon wanted any part of him. I can't blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a load coming through there. Hiram Crook at listed at 5'10", 200 pounds, and it's all solid. I tell you, he rumbles down the field.
Hiram Crook following the lead of Neil Crook, who occasionally blocked for Jake Lacoste. The pitch to Anthony Thompson makes the first man miss and takes it out across the 45 near the 46. Riley Wessel had a good shot at Thompson in the backfield, maybe for a loss, but Thompson was able to slip away from him and pick up about 6, nearly 7 yards.
And stays in bounds. Got 4:29 and counting here in this fourth quarter. The Bulldogs they want this to be done now. They want to be able to get some fresh faces in there, which is great. But the way Lebanon's been moving the ball offensively, I think West Albany would like to just churn this clock out, move the sticks a couple of times, go in and get into the locker room.
Now 2nd down and 3, and a little miscommunication on the snap. Ball slipping free from the fingertips of Ben Engel, who falls on it. No gain on the play. 3rd down 4 upcoming for the Bulldogs. West Albany with the win will go to 7-1 on the season. They'll have the season finale, regular season finale, next Friday night at Corvallis. And then they will await their fate. The power rankings will be locked that night. And West Albany will find out where they will go in the playoffs. They're certainly hoping for a home playoff game. Ben Engel on a keeper with some room. Into Warrior territory. Flag down as Engel is inside the 40, inside the 35-yard line. But that flag down back at the 48 of West. And the offensive line standing there waiting for everybody to come back and join them. This one will be returned.
And I'd been afraid to say anything, but certainly a lot fewer penalties here in the second half. It's been a lot cleaner second half as Ben Engel has tapped out and going to see another quarterback here as Ben Engel needed a little bit of a break. Reaching down for his calf area, I think, maybe on the tackle there, maybe cramping up a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, took a little pop at the end. He's walking around okay on the sidelines. Appears to be just a temporary thing, but Luke LaChapelle will come in at quarterback. 6 foot 185 sophomore. A couple of snaps here with 3:22 to go in this game. 35-12, West Albany with the lead. LaChapelle on 3rd down and 10. Facing a blitz, and now he loses the handle on the snap. Ball still loose, and Lebanon has it at the 40. Well, Lebanon's going to get it back and a chance to draw a little bit closer here. 3:08 to go in the game. West leading 35-12. Just kind of coasting to the finish line here tonight.
You always worry when you have a new quarterback come in. You always worry about that center quarterback exchange, and that's a tough situation to put LaChapelle in. You get enough reps in practice that you hope that you're not going to have those kinds of issues. But nerves come into play too. Certainly maybe pulling away from the center a little quickly. You're not used to the center. Whatever the case may be. But the Bulldogs turn it over. Lebanon and the West Albany side of the field here, as I think. We might have a timeout.
Taken by West Albany. We'll do it too. 3:08 to play. 35-12. West Albany will return to KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV at Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV at Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at West Albany High School, first down carry for Keontae Davis. Goes nowhere. The ball came out late. They'll say Davis was down. Lebanon had covered it anyway. Inches gained on the play. It'll be 2nd down and long, just inside the Bulldog 40 with 2:45 to play. And West Albany leading 35-12. Jake Rapay continuing on at quarterback for Lebanon as he will keep, now pitch. Going left is Kendall Leopard, and Leopard will take it to the 35. Pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Clock will continue to run. Lebanon choosing not to stop the clock here on this drive. Bulldogs with a 35-12 lead. And Lebanon moving the ball again on the ground.
3rd and 5 with Kendall Leopard, yet another new player in for Lebanon as the tailback. Rapay will give it straight up the middle to Keontae Davis. And Davis will take it just shy of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and 2. Takes it to the 32. Gain of 3. Lebanon will go for it here. And if they do not convert, we'll just pretty much bring an end to things. West Albany could take a couple of knees and be done. Lebanon with a late sub. Keontae Davis will head to the sideline. Replaced by Jacob Gillette, I guess, at fullback. And a new tailback again here. 4th and 2 from the 32 of West Albany. Bulldog D trying to get the stand on downs as Rapay taking a long time. And will keep and pick up the first down. Off right tackle inside the 30. Pickup of 3 and enough to move the chains as Rapay again kind of playing tug-of-war with his fullback, electing to keep and picking up the first down.
Couple of new faces in defensively for the Bulldogs. Nafiz Azam, 5'8", 190-pound sophomore for the Bulldogs, as well as Tyler Brinson, 5'10", 180, also in defensively for West Albany.
And Johnny Pearson and Cody Peterson. I don't know if we mentioned those
I don't think we have yet.
They're both in as well. As Rapay back to throw. Now going to set and throw a little swing pass. Coming to the near side where it's caught by, I think, Jacob McConnell. Reception is at 15. Nope. Devin Pritchard with the reception. Under a minute to go. Let's just wrap this one up. 35-12. West Albany with the lead. I'm going to really give it my dad for the substitution pattern by Lebanon. Once you put somebody in, leave them in for a couple of plays.
That's right.
Give me a chance to get used to them. Second down and 7.
Things easier on the Bulldog broadcast team.
Please. As now getting a carry is Pritchard, who will take it just inside the 25 to the 24. Gain of 2. Clock winding, 22 seconds, and maybe one more snap here in the game. West Albany has led throughout. They scored on their first offensive play, a 45-yard touchdown run by Jake Lacoste. Led 35-0 at the half, and have just cruised here in the second. So Rapay back to throw, going to heave it up deep, looking for something, and falls incomplete as his body got tangled. No flag with 2.6 seconds left, and of course, we'll get one more snap. That does not quite expire game time.
Good coverage out there by Calvin Chamberlain, the 5'8", 145-pound sophomore. Little bump in there. Referees appreciate it. Left the hankies in the pocket.
You know, and that's one where they could have. If it's a close game, late, you'd hold your breath and think there was a flag coming. There you felt it was pretty safe. They wouldn't bother. 4th down and 5 for Lebanon. Rapay back to throw. Sets up, throws short, incomplete, and that will end the ball game. Mercifully, this one comes to an end. Kind of a disjointed first half because of penalties, a disjointed second half because of substitutions, and ultimately a 35-12 West Albany win. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this one up on 920 KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
Back at West Albany High School, the Bulldogs beat the Warriors tonight 35-12. What I've come to dub the annual Eads Broadcasting Civil War, taken back by West Albany. I'm sure they mentioned down to our left several times tonight that Lebanon had won the previous 2 matchups between these two teams. Lebanon, the only team that had beaten West Albany twice during Mid-Atlantic Conference play. But the Bulldogs exact some revenge here tonight. They win 35-12 in a game that was really more one-sided than the final score would indicate. You hear that all the time, but the Bulldogs led 35-0 at halftime. Really had done pretty much whatever they had wanted in the first half. And then in the second half, got some reserves, some time, and Lebanon did start to move the ball to their credit on offense, got in the end zone twice. They make the final margin 23. For new and used, foreign and domestic auto parts, choose B&R Auto Wrecking. You can just log on to autowrecking.com. And remember, if you own a truck or car, think B&R. 35-12, Wally, is the final score tonight. West Albany gets the victory. 7-1 now in the season, 5-1 in the Mid-Willamette Conference. One game remains in the regular season. That's on the road next Friday at Corvallis. If you take into account what's happened thus far this season, you would presume the Bulldogs would be in line for a win next Friday. Again, you just never know when a team's suddenly going to jump up, but the Bulldogs would be favored next Friday night. And if they can finish the season at 8-1 and at 6-1 in the Mid-Willamette, it certainly would be very fun for a home playoff game.
Yeah, I think that they would. It's going to be interesting to see what the power rankings do. I watch them pretty closely for the couple days following these Friday night games, and you know, watching West win and then drop in the power rankings, it's one of those things where you think, wait, what? But if you understand the system, you know how that's going to work. I think this victory over Lebanon, because they were a little bit higher than some of the league opponents and 3-2 in league, I think that what we're going to find is that West Albany, I think they're going to be in limbo. I think they're going to probably stay at number 7. That will be my guess. Next week, that's a pick 'em. I'm not sure where they're going to land after what we would hope would be a win next week at Corvallis. You hold your breath. You hope they can get that week off, stay in that top 8 and get that bye week, and then have a home game for the first round of the playoffs. We're just going to have to watch and see. Tonight, Ryan, I great effort by the Bulldogs, and one of those rare situations where you can literally say they called off the dogs, and West really did, and I like the fact that Ben Engel and then right there at the end, La Chapelle were able to play the entire second half of quarterback. It's going to be very valuable experience, as we know. Cody LaHoda had to come in a similar circumstance with Brandon Myers getting hurt last year in the playoffs.
Right. And
so your quarterbacks have to be ready. You have to be in a situation where if your quarterback goes down, you have confidence in the reserve that's coming in. And this half of football for Ben Engel will pay dividends down the road if that situation were to arise. Jake Lacoste not playing in the second half. I like what Coach Nyquist did here. He took his skill position players and gave them some extra rest tonight. Very few starters in the fourth quarter, although defensively we did see some starters remain in this game. But I like what he and Coach Mel put together tonight. I think it was a great all-around effort. They did efficiently what they needed to do in the first half, and it allowed them to play a lot of different players in the second half.
Drives you nuts if you started Jake Lacoste on your fantasy team this week, though. He misses out on all those second half.
I start Jake Lacoste every week on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's a keeper. He's one you keep on your team year after year. Jake goes for 154 and 3 touchdowns, all in the first half. Then in the second half, gave way to Anthony Thompson. It's nice to see Thompson getting the carries. He's a senior, been playing primarily on defense this year as a very nice cornerback for West Albany. We remember last year, and I don't know how many people would remember, that Anthony had a 100-yard rushing game in the playoffs as West Albany needed him down the stretch with Jake Lacoste hurting. Riker Smith was a little bit banged up, and Anthony Thompson stepped in and ran for 100 yards. That's the kind of versatility that he has, and he's basically your third-string running back. I think if things really got down to it, JT Valenzuela might be the official backup, but because of how valuable he is on defense and because of his value in special teams, they don't use him as the number 2 running back. It's more likely to be Anthony Thompson in these blowout games. I think if you got to the playoffs and needed a running back, you might go to JT, but Anthony Thompson asserted himself very nicely.
I think that's absolutely right. And Anthony Thompson, you're right. Great to see him get those carries and as a senior playing his last regular season home game in front of the home fans, he's certainly earned that position. But you're right, and how impressive. We continue to be impressed by several players, and I'm going to miss somebody, but JT Valenzuela just continues to get the job done. He defensively, that he's going to get a bunch of tackles. He hits people hard. Special teams, he gets the special teams touchdown tonight. Congratulations to him. We've just been waiting for him to bust one.
Yeah,
that was great, and especially after having one called back. Then he does end up getting one into the end zone on a long and productive carry, elusive carry for him. But when you start talking about Matt Soot and Gabe Stone and Carson French and Tanner Gardner and some of these players that we try and get them mentioned as much as we can, but they are producing for West. They're playmakers, and these guys are getting the job done. and they are carrying this West Albany team on their shoulders. It's a great effort tonight, great effort over the course of the season. The one hiccup against Silverton, but other than that, this is just a very, very good and fun football team to watch.
And a special kudos tonight for Carson French at linebacker for West Albany. Last count, I had him at 14 tackles. Jeff says 16 tackles. 15, sorry. I was looking at I knew he was in double digits. It's either 51. I don't think it's going to be 51 with a 5.
He'd be a lousy basketball referee.
Yeah, terrible.
He can't read his hands. What's he saying?
Well, sometimes that could be 6. But 15 tackles tonight for Carson French. One thing that I've heard sometimes is, why didn't you identify so-and-so on defense? They were in on every tackle. I feel like I mentioned Carson French's name tonight about 4 times. He's in on 15 tackles. Sometimes it's hard to see to the bottom of the pile there in the action. But French and the West Albany linebackers, very good performance against a Lebanon team, despite the fact that they were banged up, can run the ball very well.
Yeah, they can, and we knew that coming in. Their running backs are averaging over 7 yards a carry, and that's a sign of a very good offensive line and a good running game. West Albany able to hem that in for the most part tonight. They got some productive runs there in the second half against West Albany reserves, but for the most part, West Albany over the course of the night had a very good defensive game plan and worked it to perfection.
I think the Warriors knew they were in trouble coming into this one. Their own broadcast crew knew they were in trouble coming into this game. Bulldogs had a little extra motivation from losing the last 2 games to Lebanon, and they do win tonight with relative ease. 35-12 the final score. Let's take our final break here if we can. When we come back, we'll go to Paul Daskalos, have our final game stats around the corner at 9:20 KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
We come back here to West Albany High School one final time. Welcome back to the broadcast. Paul Daskalos, our great thanks again to him for keeping stats tonight in tandem with Jeff Kiter. Jeff, I think, initially was thinking that they'd be headed up to Spokane today. Didn't think he'd make the game. Had handed off the reins to Paul. And Jeff, taking one for the team and letting you get some airtime. So thanks to both of you for keeping the stats tonight. And we've got our final numbers here, Paul.
And I, again, appreciate Jeff's work on the defensive side of the ball, because I heard you talk about mentioning those defensive players and all the tackles of Carson French, et cetera. So very nice performance there. Offensively, I got some numbers to go over in the second half. As we know, Bulldogs didn't score any more additional points in that half. And offensively, both teams are pretty even, like exactly 114 yards total offense exactly for both teams. Lebanon primarily on the ground, of course, with a total of 25 carries in the second half for 107 yards for Lebanon. I'll go back to their final numbers in a minute. But first of all, for West Albany, offensive dominance, total yardage in the game, 379 yards total for West Albany versus a total of 162 for the Lebanon Warriors. Overall, on the ground, West Albany, 29 carries, 256 yards. The majority of that, of course, by Jake Lacoste, 11 carries in the first half for 154 yards. Second half on senior night, good runs and performance by both Hiram Crook and Anthony Thompson. Thompson had 9 carries for 41 yards, and Hiram had 3 carries for 41 yards. Quarterback position, we saw a lot of Ben Engel, of course, in the second half. He was 1 for 5 in the passing game for 36 yards and a touchdown, correct?
Yes.
A touchdown. I saw a couple penalties there, so I wasn't sure which touchdowns got reversed or not. So he had the one 36-yard touchdown to Brendan Breslin.
Right.
So overall, in the passing game, 50% for both Cody Lahota and Ben Engel combined, 7 of 14 for 123 yards in the air. Lebanon overall connected on 2 passes in the second half for a total of 7 yards. I'm sorry, for 30 yards. One of those went for a touchdown in the air, 2 for 7, 30 yards. 49 rushes for Lebanon. Again, their total yardage tonight, 162 versus the 379 for West Albany. So dominating performance, senior night. Defensively, a swarm of Bulldogs with tackles. Again, Carson French led the way, and a nice special teams performance again by JT Valenzuela.
Definitely.
So
thank you, Paul.
That's what I have for you. Thank you, guys.
And you are not headed up to Gonzaga.
I'm not going this year. Our daughter came home last weekend, and we had a conflict for this weekend, so I appreciate being here.
Definitely. We thank you for being along. Go Beavs tomorrow. I know you would share in that sentiment. And we'll wish Jeff Kiter safe travels as he heads up to Gonzaga tomorrow to go visit Tucker. And an early departure tomorrow for Jeff. So we'll wish him a safe trip up there and gets to check out Midnight Madness up at Gonzaga, which I understand they have a basketball team decent. I heard that.
I've heard. Rumor has it, yeah.
I don't know.
And a happy birthday again to Patty Dasklos.
Yes.
And appreciate her. I'll say allowing Paul to be up here with us on her birthday. So that's safe to say. Sure. Sure.
Very nice.
She runs the show in that family, doesn't she?
I think we all know. We all know that in all 4 of our cases, the women are on the show. We know that well.
Isn't that the truth?
35-12. West Albany gets the win here tonight. We will join you again next Friday night over at Corvallis High School. You could argue that over the years, that's become the big rivalry for West Albany. The West-South game, that's going to be huge every year, no question about that. That's the one they call the Civil War. But in terms of a heated rivalry and just flat-out dislike for one another, that Corvallis rivalry is there with any of them.
Yeah, it certainly is, and that goes back decades.
Yeah.
And certainly West Albany, they've had that one circled on their calendar, and it doesn't appear on paper or from reports we've been getting that it's going to be that highly a competitive game next week, but on any given Friday, and you just don't know how it's going to be. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm going to knock on wood, but West Albany certainly will be geared up for that one.
And that's kind of the scary thing is that Corvallis comes in down, and West Albany will be expected to really blow them out. And it can be a little scary thing. Corvallis will come in with nothing to lose. West Albany will be playing, hopefully, to secure a home playoff game. Just a slight little bit of pressure there. You never know. And hopefully West Albany will come out determined again next weekend, be able to take care of business and get into the playoffs and secure a home playoff game, which is good for everybody, including us. We don't like to drive that first playoff game.
That's true. We do enjoy traveling together, but sure be nice to get a home game, get the home fans here, and certainly we will hope for that.
Senior night here at West Albany High School. We hope that there are a few more games down the line, but the final regular season home game sends the seniors out victorious. West Albany 35 and Lebanon 12. Thank you, Wally.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Great time with you again tonight, and we'll look forward to next Friday.
So many people to thank. I thank Wally, as always. Thanks to Paul Dasklos and Jeff Kiter, who kept stats tonight. Thank you to Brian Holman, who set up our gear before the game. And thank you to Dave Adams, back in the studio tonight. 35-12, West Albany with the win. We'll see you next Friday. Until then, have a great weekend. I'm Ryan Pitts for Wally Ordeman, for Paul Dasklos, for Jeff Kiter, and all of you for listening. Good night from West Albany High School.
Thanks for listening to tonight's broadcast of West Albany football on the unforgettable 920 KSHO. You can follow the Bulldogs all season long, every snap, every score, every game, home and away on KSHO. Tonight's game was brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Lassen RV, Albany Athletic Club, Power Honda, Snap Fitness of Albany, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Crabtree Automotive, Mark Thomas Motors, Grocery Outlet, Courtesy Corner Shell, Now Builders, Lynn Lanes, Willamette Community Bank, The Cutting Room, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Figaro's of Albany, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Listen throughout the season for more exciting Bulldogs action. This broadcast is exclusive property of Eads Broadcasting, the unforgettable 920 KSHO, and Pitts Wally Productions. U.S. copyright law protects this broadcast. Duplication or rebroadcast of any portion of this program is strictly prohibited without prior written consent. We now join our regular programming.
You found us, so now tell your friends. America's best music is on the show. AM 920 KSHO.